Hi there, this is Matt once again, joined with a good friend of mine, Fabio, and wearing a good X-Men shirt there.
Yeah.
Is that the comic book or cartoon?
No, this is the cartoon
Very nice.
when it was good, unlike the one they're trying to come out with now.
But before we start, let me catch up with the chat. Hello there, Retro Crypt. I mean, I haven't been in my that long. I've just been a very busy month. Hey there, Sean. Thank you still for the request. Yeah, Linda Blair, David Hasselhoff, in a horror movie. I expect a lot more. Hoff didn't really do much but take pictures and die. The end.
What do you mean he's been
Uh,
MIA? He puts up 5 videos a day.
Maybe streams. I haven't done less many streams this month, but it's been a very busy month. Hi there, Marcus. Hey there, Kyle. Very sorry to hear about that.
Sorry
Wish you
to
the
hear.
best. Uh, the best I could say is it's gonna take a while. Just take it day by day. Hopefully, we can give at least a little bit of enjoyment for you tonight. So, wish you the best, Kyle.
Exactly. Just one step at a time.
Hello to Aiden, DJ, Preminator. Yeah, I know they were. Yeah, there's the news. Yep, the 4Ks, True Lies, The Abyss, Aliens. Next March, we'll see if
We'll
they
see.
stick the landing there or if it gets
We'll see.
delayed. Or but hey
Believe it
there,
when I
Darling
see it.
Spider.
The
Uh,
artwork sucks.
okay.
I'm not going to lie. The artwork sucks on those. It's all that AI shit. Especially the one for True
Yeah.
Lies, because Arnold's head is from a different picture and it's not even his body. It looks so fucking terrible. And then it's like the ultimate collector's edition. There's like 2 extra features on there. So I don't know what ultimate they're talking about, but whatever. I mean, I will buy it
So
just to
Sean,
have an
yeah.
official release, but I'm like, really? How can it be ultimate if there's 2 extra features? Just like the special
I have no
edition
idea.
of So I Married an Axe Murderer with no features.
But it's a special edition for some
But
reason.
it's special. I have it. It's the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray says special edition on it, and there's no features. I don't even think there's a trailer on there.
That's too bad. But hey there, Bobby, Lucas.jpg, DVB. I know nothing of Booty 2988. I know Fabio did a reaction. I've not seen the video yet.
Woo!
Uh, I just haven't had time.
Woo.
It's a name I've heard, but I know nothing about it. So,
Sean
and
had a
Sean,
question for me.
yeah, I don't remember
Um,
what I said in the. I mean, I don't remember saying that, but okay, go for it,
I
Fabio.
mean, if he did, I don't agree because they killed the bear at the end of the movie, so it's not like they killed the bear at the beginning. If they did, that would be a mistake. But the bear died at the end.
Maybe it's. I'm trying to remember the movie. Is it like they kill the bear, then kind of like the last 20 minutes is the Alec Baldwin kind of being impaled, and they kind of have their
Mm-hmm.
back and forth.
Which was the best part of the
Okay.
movie. So there's that. I mean, oh, I'm
Is
sorry.
that
Did
Alec
I?
Baldwin?
Yeah, when Alec Baldwin died, it was the best part of the movie.
Uh, Favorite sci-fi film of all time? Hmm, that's tough. I'll go with Aliens. I'll go with Aliens back there.
I'd agree.
Lucas, for me, the playthroughs, the next up is God of War, because that was a
Ooh.
request, the 2018 one. So that will be next. And then I will
I'm
get to Uncharted 4 as soon as I can, Lucas, because I know you requested it. Thank you for that.
trying to
Hey there, Caleb,
catch up on all
Will
those.
Ferrell, a Titchy fan. Hi, everybody. I haven't read any Godzilla comic book. Really, the only comic I read was Charles Barkley versus Godzilla. That's
Well,
the
that's
only
a good one.
Godzilla comic I read. So
The Dark Horse
you
ones
read
I
any?
really like.
What about those did you like?
The art, because I just love that art style, and it was like the older Godzilla, so that's why I
Okay,
like those quite a bit.
cool. Hi there, Ryan and Jackie. Uh,
Yes, not
President,
JPEG. I am so excited for Barbarella on 4K.
the Libracast, hello there. Civil Wings, hey there. Martin Cruz, Barbarella. I don't even think I've ever seen that movie to this
Neither
day.
have
I
I.
know
I
of
don't.
it.
I don't plan on it. The only thing I remember is Joe Bob Briggs making fun of it. We can show Barbarella, Ted. We'll have Jane on.
I don't know what Imaginary is, Alter Ego, but if it's Blumhouse, I'll pass. Uh,
They make a new
Shyamalan,
movie like every 2 weeks.
yeah, and the last one they did, Five Nights at Freddy's, I was not a fan of. I don't care about
But
a
it,
bunch of
it made
toys
money.
built in a fort. Yeah,
But it made money.
not, not my money.
Made more money than the Marvels.
Yeah, I heard that. It's pretty funny. But the Marcus, yeah, the worst Shyamalan movie. Take your pick. It's a lot of bad ones. Glass is pretty bad for what they do to Bruce Willis's character. Um, the Happening's pretty bad. Uh, it's a lot of picks. Worst Venom or Morbius, they're both pretty bad, so I would rather watch it either.
I would say Morbius.
No, I
Well,
don't think.
Venom I haven't seen, but Morbius was really bad. It's like, I don't know if they made it that bad on purpose, but it was fucking terrible.
No, there's no commentary on True Lies from what I saw.
No,
I didn't see that, so
it was a trailer, and there was like 2 featurettes, and that's it.
yeah, it's
And
probably like an interview with
nothing from
James
back in the
Cameron, and then
day. None of the deleted scenes. None of that.
yeah, when evil lurks, don't know what that is. Hey Caleb, hope you're doing well. Yeah, special editions with no features. Yeah, that happened a lot back in the day. And it
Mm-hmm.
still is to this day, where there'll be a special and there's like nothing on there. Or there's stuff on there, but it's garbage, like the Running Man, like those
Yeah,
features.
seriously.
Good Burger 2, I think you're more familiar with Good Burger than me. So what are your thoughts on they're doing the sequel?
I don't care. I don't want to see 50-year-old Keenan and Kel, trying to rehash the first movie. No,
You
I'm
think it's
good.
too late?
It's way too late. Good Burger didn't need a sequel. Excuse me. You don't need a sequel to Good
Yeah, like
Burger, especially now in 2023.
yeah, like they did that Hocus Pocus sequel, and
Exactly, that no
that
one
wasn't very good.
remembers. And it came out a
And
year.
this one's
It only came out a year ago, and nobody remembers it.
so this is from Movie Guy. You have more knowledge of this than me. What is the worst Power Rangers movie?
I wouldn't say any of them are particularly bad.
Okay. Is there one you like less than the others?
I would say probably the new one I like less than the other two.
Oh, okay.
That's just me.
Hey there, Mike. Hope you're doing well, man. Speaking of bears, I would rather watch Hercules or Lufrino. Hey,
There
not a
you
bad
go.
choice, man. Go for it. Let's see. People talk to each other. That's cool. I don't care about Terrifier 3. I don't care if it's a Christmas movie. I don't give a shit about the first two. They can do whatever they want. I don't care.
Yeah,
Turkish Star Wars. I didn't see Turkish Star Wars.
I didn't
But
see
yeah, go
the
ahead,
first
guys.
Terrifier. Why would I want to see any of the other ones?
There's a list of 50 Disney movies due to release within next years, and it's absolute garbage. Well, it's Disney, so what do you expect?
Are they all going to get delayed like Snow White?
Yes, DVB, there is a Charles Barkley versus Godzilla comic because there was a commercial you can find on YouTube, a very fun commercial, where a practical Godzilla suit, he's battling Charles Barkley in it's a Nike commercial, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun one. Then they did a comic book of it. There's a Ted prequel. Why? A remake appear on the stairs? That's stupid. It's not needed. It's a good film. It's a good film.
They'll do the same shit they did with the Candyman remake. The same shit.
Now, did you eventually see that?
The remake of Candyman?
Yeah.
No. I have no desire. Why would I want to watch that?
You're not missing much.
White people are bad. Okay, yeah, I'm all right.
But hi there, Rufus. Mike. No, I didn't hear about an Omen prequel. There is an Omen prequel. It's called The Omen. That's how it started. He was a baby. What is it about the inception?
Clearly they didn't see the first one.
The sperm has a 666 logo.
It's gonna be like the scene in the Beavis and Butthead movie.
There's gonna be a horror version of the beginning of Look Who's Talking. Some Rob Zombie music will be playing with the sperm.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Dracula, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dabian. We're both doing okay. Our favorite films based on the most dangerous game. I will choose Hard Target.
Obviously.
How about you?
Obviously, Hard Target.
But of course, Surviving the Game is the Blu-ray did come out. I have not picked it up yet.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Finally.
Have you checked it out?
No, I don't have it yet. Soon.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
Soon I'll get it.
Not JPEG. Neither Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, a killer turkey. Eli Roth, who is a turkey. I don't care about either one.
One of the convention near here, they just announced their first guest, and it's somebody from that movie. I'm like, oh, great. It's not even out yet.
So, okay, let me ask you this. You've seen the trailer, I would assume. What are your thoughts on the new slasher Thanksgiving?
Well,
of course, based on the Grindhouse.
The last time they did that with the Grindhouse trailer, that didn't end up so well. Just saying. Machete. Who cares? Like, first of all, it's way too late because Grindhouse came out what?
2007.
16 years ago, so it's already too late. It just shows you they have run out of ideas. What are they going to do next? Rob Zombie is going to turn his trailer into a full-length movie and have his wife star in it?
Probably. Nah, I think even at this point, people may be wising up. Rob Zombie, don't let him direct anymore after the Monsters.
And he got all mad about them. He got all mad about the Monsters.
Yeah, there's a new Garfield. There's a new Ghostbusters. I don't care about any of that, to be honest.
Why?
Mr. Freeze being in Ghostbusters, whatever it is. The Ice Age. Hey there, Aiden. Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's garbage movie. Danny Dundada, hello there. Neopunk, hello there. Garfield on Elm Street.
Can't wait.
Hey there, Alex. Favorite video game sequel? Hmm. I'll go with Resident Evil 4. I'll say that. It's tough though.
Fuck it, Max Payne 2.
I still have to play it. I've only played the first one. Will you say like that more? You like that more than the first, or?
I would say I like the first more, but it's a good. It is a very solid sequel.
Okay.
And Max Payne 3 is okay. I have Max Payne 3, but I don't think it's as good as the first two. And I think one of the reasons it was different people that made it, so I think that kind of took away from it.
Okay then. Allegiant, I don't know what that is. Not JPEG. Sorry, don't know what that is. Fabio, have you seen the 1979 film Nightwing or the 1999 film Bats?
I don't think I definitely have not seen Nightwing. I don't think I've seen Bats. I have it on DVD over here. I just haven't watched it yet. It's actually right here.
That's a fun one. I mean, you got Lou Don Phillips, so it's definitely worth the watch. Bob Gunton, the evil warden, Shawshank Redemption. No idea, and I don't know anything about Imaginary. But I don't follow Blumhouse. So Fabio, which do you like more, Cliffhanger or Demolition Man?
Demolition Man, because that's my favorite Stallone movie.
Okay. Let's see. Hi guys, I watched Trespass, love the movie. It's like I saw in Freezer 13. That's cool arcade that you liked it. Glad you got some enjoyment out of it. Wasn't for me, but that's just me. Little Monsters, I barely remember Little Monsters with Fred Savage.
I like Little Monsters.
Not Ari James, I banned you because you were being a troll. So relax, or I'll do it again. I don't give a shit about your opinion about Spider-Man. It's because you're acting like a dick. Just don't act like a dick. Just don't act like a dick. It's not tough. It's not tough.
I'm aware. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. I mean, it's a super chat. Thank you, Frame by Frame. Tell me a little bit. Hi there, Matt and Alistair, by the way, and Peter Freak Out.
Frame by Frame wanted me to react to this documentary about whatever his name is, Boogie, whatever. I had no clue what it was. I was very confused when he sent it in. I'm like, okay, I don't know who this is. I don't know what this is. And then I started watching it, and then I started recognizing him from all the clips that they showed. I'm like, oh, this was the guy. He created that character Francis, and he talked with like a lisp, and there's a video where he's like pissed off because there's no Mountain Dew in the fridge. And there's Fago, and he's like, I don't want Fago, you're Fago. And he's like smashing controllers. And so I'm like, oh, I know who this guy is. But this documentary just came out about how he was one of the biggest YouTubers, and then he lost it all, and he spent all of his money on like hookers. He spent like $250,000 on hookers, and he's a piece of shit human being because apparently he's a pedophile. And he like beat up his wife, and he calls people like the N-word and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And this documentary is just showing his continual downfall. I'm like, okay, well, it was interesting to watch, but it was strange because I had no clue what was going on. And half the time, like when you watch the video, and people seem to have liked the video, I'm like getting angrier, and I'm yelling, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's just this fucking loser. He's like, oh, I'm fat. I don't know why I'm fat. I'm like, I know why you're fat. And he's like, I'm gonna die in like a year. I'm like, well, I wonder why. And he tries to get you. He's very manipulative. He tries to get you to feel sorry for him. I'm like, you have no one to blame but yourself. Like, you are the one that put yourself in this position. You were the one that spent $250,000 on fucking hookers. Like,
How much
So
did he spend?
he spent in the documentary. It says that he spent $200,000 on prostitutes. I'm like,
A month?
I don't know. I don't know about a month, but I think it was over a period of time. He spent like almost $250,000 on prostitutes, and they interview one of the ladies. They don't show her face, and they distort her voice to protect her, which I'm okay with. But they interview her, and she said because of that, because of spending time with him, she stopped. She couldn't do it anymore. I'm like, well, at least something positive came out of it. And now she's doing really well. Like she got married and she has kids and everything's okay. I'm like, well, that's good. But yeah, it's very interesting. Like this guy he made $750,000 off of YouTube, and now he has nothing. And in this video, he was making videos. He's like, well, I'm one of the original YouTubers and all this. And he would like stream, but he would just, and they show it in the documentary, he would just gradually lose subscribers and lose money because he's a psycho. And he's like calling people the N-word. Apparently he beat up his wife. Apparently he made all these like pedophilic comments. Someone sent him like a super chat, and the person was black, and he goes, oh, that's a lot of money for a person of color. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, really? And he is a felon because him and this guy got into it on YouTube, and the guy showed up at his house because he threatened to kill the guy, and the guy filmed the whole thing. He pulled a gun out on him, and then he fired a warning shot, and then the cops came and arrested him, so he's a convicted felon. And then all this other shit. And then he, like, all these people are, like, hanging out with him, and his girlfriend, he's, like, 48, and his girlfriend's 20. I'm like, I feel bad for this girl. She needs to get the fuck out of this situation. And he lives in, like, this really nice house. And in the video, I'm like, what are you fucking doing? I'm like, you're about to lose this beautiful house because you're stupid. And he's just like sitting on the couch watching TV, and he wonders why. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. And I just get angrier through the course of the video. So, but apparently people have been liking it because they've been leaving a lot of nice comments. So I'm like, what the fuck? What is wrong with this person? But the best part was he went. What money? He has no money. What? There's no money.
They went to all the hookers.
Yeah,
not the one who's
$250,000 on fucking hookers. Like, and there's a part.
Girlfriend,
there's a part.
Buy you some sandwich.
I don't know how they got away with. Yeah, right. I don't know how they got away with this, but there was a part when he was showing the director like the websites that he goes on to meet these women, and they don't blur any of their faces or anything out. I'm like, well, what if one of those girls, like, I'm not condoning what they're doing or anything, but what if one of those girls sees that and sues you because you used that without her permission? And he's like going on and on. He goes, I like beautiful women. We all want to be with beautiful women. Like, I'm like, look at your fucking self. They're only with you because you're paying them. And there was one, he talked about, there was one girl, he spent $5,000 and they broke it down. Like you could see it on the screen. Like there's a graphic that they broke down. So it was like $2,000 just to be with her. And then he bought her like credit cards and took her to dinner. And it like totaled out to $5,000. I'm like, and I yell in the video, I'm like, you don't pay a prostitute to be with you. You pay her to leave. Like, that's rule number one. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just watching this. And I'm like, this guy is a fucking piece of work. But the best part was the director. There's one part of the movie where the director convinces him. He goes, you have to get a job. You have to make money. He goes, you can't live off of just YouTube and with all your expenses and everything. And he goes, okay. So he goes to a temp agency and he's talking to this lady, and the lady was like, okay, you need to tell me what is going to prevent you from getting a job? And he goes, well, I'm a convicted felon. And she's just like, And he goes like, and I worked in the porn industry. And she goes, She goes, yeah, you're probably not going to get hired anywhere. I'm like, oh my God, I love this lady. She was the best part of it. Was the lady at the temp agency. Then there's a scene where he's like sitting at his computer and he's like, well, these are my bills. And then I bought this video game, and then I did this, and then I did that. Like, I need this. And then there's like scenes when he's like going to McDonald's like 10 times a week, and he's going to Taco Bell. I'm like, no wonder. What the fuck is wrong with you, guy? I'm like, what is wrong with these people? And I'm just constantly getting angrier throughout this. I'm like, what is wrong with you? But again, I guess everybody got their paid request worth.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shows how much I knew.
I had no clue. And again, when they started, because when he first popped up, I'm like, who the fuck is this? I don't know who this guy is. And then they started showing clips, and I'm like, oh, okay. I know who this guy is now.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, and then there's this scene where he goes to this card shop, and he's like trying to sell these magic cards, and he's like, well, I looked online, and they're going for like 400, and the guy at the store's like, I can give you 100 each. But he's like, no, look, and he like pulls out his phone. He's like, no, look, they're like 400 each on eBay. He goes, well, I can't do that. He goes, the best I can give you is $100 for each of these cards, not 400. Oh, okay. So then he takes that money that he just got, and then he goes to like Taco Bell and spends it all at Taco Bell. I'm like, you could have taken that and used it for something else. I'm like, oh my God, what is fucking wrong with these people?
Wait, how much did he spend at Taco Bell?
He spent a lot. I don't know if it was like $400 or $100 worth, but it was close. And then he had to get money from the director because the director's in the car filming. And he asked him, the director asked him, he goes, well, how are you going to pay for this? He goes, oh, I was just going to get the money from you. So the director gave him the money. I'm like, and then at the end, it says at the end, the director was not paid for this. I'm like, well, it was for the movie. He was not paid for the movie.
Yeah, probably lost money from this.
I'm like, okay, all right, guy, whatever. You are the one that put yourself in this position. But it was very interesting, to say the least.
The Booty Woody Man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Boogie Woogie Choo Choo Train.
Jesus. Derek, it's on Fabio's channel where he reacted to the video. Yeah, just go to his channel. The Italian
link is in the video. In my video, I put the link to this documentary. Or if you just type in the guy's name on YouTube, I'm sure it'll pop up.
All right. Jesus Christ! I would love to be making $200,000.
Yep, he made it in the beginning. That was like the first thing that it said was he had made. It was like $780,000 off of YouTube or whatever it was, and he's like, now he has nothing. I'm like, well, that's what happens when you're stupid. And I'm sitting there, and in his house they show he's got all these like arcade machines, and he's got pinballs, and he's got this, and he's got that. I'm like, you could sell. You don't need any of that. I said you could sell all that shit and make enough money to, I mean, maybe not pay off everything, but you could probably make a nice dent. Because he had like 9 arcade machines in his house. He had a pinball machine. There's this shot where they show like this room, and it's all these board games, and it's all like these toys. And I'm like, you could sell all that. Because again, I say it in the video, I'm like, if I had to sell everything that you see and then some just to survive, I would do it because I want to live. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I can't say that about folks. I didn't see it. I'll watch Fabio's video later, but yeah, the Booty Woody man. I
Boogie Woogie,
don't give a fuck about
Boogie
this
Woogie
guy.
Choo
He
Choo
seems like
Train.
a piece of work and a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit.
Oh, really? Oh, great.
There you go.
Well, I guess I now know who requested for Fabio. So I don't know where I'm at in the chat. I'll do my best, guys. I was just transfixed by apparently the self-destruction of the ultimate booty.
There you go.
Let me go backwards. Apparently, the Marvel's director is being a bitch. Haters of the film, whatever. No one apparently likes the Marvel, so
Nobody went and saw it. Nobody went and watched it.
I certainly didn't.
Nope.
High Money Saving with Mimi. Angry Grandpa, I've never seen.
Well, I think he's associated. I was reading. I think he's associated with Angry Grandpa.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think because I just happened to pull him up on Wikipedia just out of curiosity, and it said at the bottom or whatever, like people that he was associated with on YouTube.
All right, so let's see where to begin. Alex, Josh, hello there, Alex. What's your favorite Ernest film in the franchise? Mine would be Ernest Scared Stupid. I'll choose that one. Turtle Tank, have a good birthday. Cool, that's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, John, how you doing, man? How excited from 1 to 10 for a Thursday Euphoria? 11. 11.
Negative 86.
See, actually, this is tequila because I knew that question was coming. So.
I didn't even know they were doing a third season.
The show sucks. Characters suck. The writing sucks.
And then I heard there was like a poll that came out. It's like Gen Z is tired of sex scenes. I'm like, then why the fuck do you keep watching Euphoria? First of all, what's wrong with sex scenes? Second of all, stop watching Euphoria then. I'm
tired of the sex scenes Euphoria because it's all about underage folks.
Yeah, seriously.
Concerned about sex. Well, that's what happens in the real world. Well, I don't want to hear about it because I'm fucking 40 years old.
That's right. Just because it happens in the real world doesn't mean you need to make a movie about it.
I watch 40-year-olds having sex on Pornhub. Not fucking.
That's right.
I'm not Hollywood. Who likes to fucking yun them? I don't sniff people's hair. I don't fucking do other shit. And yeah, that thing I reacted to, the Variety top 40 Marvel characters, was the biggest load of shit.
I believe it.
Wesley Snipes was like number 26, but then like Miss Marvel, that TV show, was ahead of Wesley Snipes. And fucking was it Black Panther was in the top 10 or top 5? But Blade was like number 26.
That's like I started to tear apart the Rolling Stones top 250 guitar player list, and they lost me at the beginning because Andy Summers from The Police was number 250. I'm like, are you fucking serious? The Police, one of the most influential bands of all time, and you put him dead last? Are you kidding me?
The trolls will say stick to action movies if you don't want to watch the realism of Euphoria.
I will.
That's what the trolls are going to say. I will, exactly.
You're not really helping the argument because that's what we're both going to do.
So Turd Taint is saying, Fabio, do you collect Super 7 reaction figures? I've been seeing the TMT, their vintage style, like Star Wars figures with 5 points of articulation. Don't know anything about that.
No, I know what they are. They're the tiny ones. But I don't have any of those.
Sorry, Hoopa, I don't know what the Amazing Digital Circus. I remember the Family Circus in those comics, but I don't know the Amazing Digital Deletion, whatever. Urkel Saves Santa, an animated movie? What?
Why?
What the
hell? Why?
There's an Urkel animated film? Please tell me this is like some kind of fan-made thing.
Who the fuck wants to watch that?
Let's see.
I gotta look this up. I gotta look this up.
No, okay. While Fabio's looking at the Premiere, I do not have Hulu, but I'll just wait for the Blu-ray 4K or True Lies. I don't need it. I have it technically on Blu-ray by unofficial channels, so I could just watch that.
Did I do that to the holidays? A Steve Urkel story. Yesterday. The trailer came out yesterday. It's real.
An official thing.
It's real.
Who's releasing that?
Warner Brothers is putting it out next week.
Great.
Yep, it's real. Urkel Saves Santa, the movie.
Okay.
Apparently it was shelved and then now it's not. They should have kept it on the fucking shelf.
Exactly. What if we became Santa Claus? Like Tim Allen? I wouldn't want the job. I want to be sleeping on Christmas.
Y'all ain't getting nothing, okay? You're all on the naughty list.
I guess bring Buddy a bunch of hookers so you don't have to spend $200,000.
$200,000 on hookers.
Here you go. So stop. I'll give these. You give me $200,000 and I retire to Jamaica.
I could not believe that. I could not believe that when I saw it. I'm like, I haven't even spent that much on hookers. So there's that.
Yeah, what do you expect from Hollyweird? Yeah, that's true.
I have not seen Santa Inc. I don't plan on seeing Santa Inc.
It's not worth it. Yes, we knew of the Winnie the Pooh horror film. Yes, I know it's in a sequel. The first film sucked enough. Not needed.
Jamarol, I like the first two, Silent Night, Deadly Nights. Everything else sucked.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Not JPEG. I would choose David Fincher because I'm not a David Lynch fan. So I would choose David Fincher films. Fabio, where did you get the White Ranger cutout behind you? I did it.
That was on eBay, but thank you. Found that on eBay.
Oh, okay. Cool. Are there other cutouts that you got, or was just that one?
I have, since I can move this camera, I have the green the White Ranger over there. And then try to not make this fall. And I have one of the VR troopers right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that actually belonged to Amy Jo Johnson, who played the Pink Ranger's mom.
Oh, wow.
At least that's what the guy that I bought it from said.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to see more, definitely check out Fabio's channel. He's reviewed a lot of Power Rangers stuff. Has it been all of them or most of them that you've
Most of
reviewed?
them.
Like the series?
The only thing I haven't reviewed is the new one, but I gave up. I gave up.
Terminator is asking your thoughts on. I think he meant Best Buy. I think autocorrect actually said Bear Buy, but
Thereby,
Best
well, they're
Buy
not wrong.
going away with the physical media.
They're
Is
not
where it
wrong.
goes, my opinion.
First, yes, Jaleel White is doing the voice of Urkel. Arcade, I missed you too. So there's that. Where was it? Favorite type of video games? Anything like action oriented. And then Neopunk thinks I could be a wise cracking Santa. Thank you, Marco. Yes, I'm just running through these questions quick. Blue Steel is great. Blue Steel just got a Blu-ray from Vestron. I think that's out now. And fuck TikTok. But in regards to Best Buy, there it is. My bad. Best Buy. I mean, I'm not surprised because the last couple of years they were slimming down on that anyway. From what I've noticed, just going to Best Buy, the DVD and Blu-ray section was getting smaller and smaller. But I'm not surprised at all. Walmart's doing it too because I was at Walmart today and half of their movie section disappeared. So, and I heard a rumor that they were going to stop the physical video game sales next year at Walmart. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I heard. But it's not a surprise to me because they're trying to get away from that. But that's okay because I'll just go on eBay and I'll get what I need and I'll get it cheaper, most likely, and I'll support a small business. So I don't have a problem with that. But I mean, I get where people, like a lot of people are upset about that. And I get it, trust me. But it doesn't really upset me because I understand why they're doing it. And it's not a shock because, again, the past couple of years, they've been pushing away from that. So it does not come as a shock to me at all. But that's okay because you can go and support, small businesses or the few mom and pop stores that are left, or just go on eBay and support those small businesses because most of the people that sell on eBay are just regular people that are just trying to make some extra money. So go for it. I don't need to go to Walmart. I don't need. I'll never shop at Target again, but I don't need to go to Best Buy to get a movie. But it's on them if it's going to cut into their profits. So there's that.
Thanks for once again, Bobby. You're a really kind man. How would you rank? Okay, so it was Jumpin' Jack Flash, Flash Gordon, Flash 1990, CW The Flash, and Flash 2023. Okay, all the different kinds of Flashes.
Well, I would put Jumpin' Jack Flash would be number one. And then it would be the Flash TV show, and then Flash Gordon, and then fuck the other two.
I fully agree. Jumpin' Jack Flash 1 for me. Flash 1990, underrated show, number 2. Flash 498 is a fun one for what it is, number 3. Flash 2023, I will say, is the worst for what they did with Michael Keaton. Batman, it's ridiculous. It was pathetic. You turn into a goof, explain shit with spaghetti, and fucking starring a guy that should be in jail. And then you have Batman die 18 times. And then the last time you see him is he dies. Him dying.
I don't want to know.
Thank you, Caleb. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you, everyone.
Same here
Steven,
for me. But someone said I'm a
Steven,
toxic male.
yeah.
That's cool. Where do I get my discounts at?
Hey there, Bronson. Hope you're doing well. I miss renting DVDs from a video rental store. That's still very original to me. Just like going to the movies is still, yeah. I mean, if you grew up in that era, it makes sense. I mean, so do I. But it's just the way the times are. And cool. We got some nice words.
Thank
It's
you.
hilarious. Very cool.
Look, I try to throw humor in my videos because we all have to laugh. But thank you, Turtle Tank, for the subscription. Appreciate it. And
So
yes,
let me run these. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, Neopunk. Power Ranger Samurai sucked.
So these are some questions for you. Alex asks, Fabio, do you remember Fry's Electronics DVD store?
No, we never had that around here. I've heard of them, but I never went to one because I don't think there was ever any of those around here. But again, I have heard of them. I never went to one. I mean, as far as I can remember.
So Premier asks you, did you check out Scarface in theaters? It was re-released a few days ago.
No, I didn't have a chance to. I was going to go last night, but I'd rather, come on here for a little bit and talk to all of you, so I can I can watch Scarface here for free.
Yeah. So Ryan's asking, Fabio, have you ever seen a film called I Saw the Devil?
Yeah, I believe I reviewed that. I think are you talking about the Korean film? Or is that a different? Am I thinking of something different? I think he's talking about the Korean film because I believe I did review that. That was a paid request, and I actually really liked it.
And then Jamal is asking you, did you get anything from the Criterion 50% sale this month?
No.
Not much in Criterion.
Well, there's not. I mean, lately, what have they put out that's worth it?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, cool. It's a bunch of art house films I've never heard of, but why don't you mix it up a little bit?
And the Turtle Tank is asking, do you think they could do a good VR Troopers reboot?
No, I don't think so. Because that show was so much of a product of its time. Thank you, Callum. No, I mean, what are they going to do now? It'll all be Oculus or whatever. Oculus Troopers.
Stephen King defending the Marvels. Thoughts? I want to hear more of Fabio. I know why, but I saw your stream and you mentioned Stephen King, how he's changed. I want to hear more of those thoughts on your opinion on how Stephen King has changed and how.
Well, remember about 25 years ago when he got in that car accident?
Yeah.
I think that fucked him up, and not in a good way. But he just became, not to get into this territory, but it is true. He just became your typical Hollywood nut job leftist. When all you do is go on Twitter and bitch about Donald Trump and bitch about Elon Musk and this, that, and the other thing, it's like I check out. That's what he became. And I was, don't get me wrong, I was, in some ways I still am a huge Stephen King fan. I love his writing style. I love his books. I love a lot of the movies and the miniseries. I love all that. I'm a fan. But I don't care about all that. And instead of using your platform to just complain all the time, why don't you do something good with it? So I have no tolerance for that, whether it's him or anybody else. It's just annoying, and it just shows you that you're irrelevant and you're trying to hold on to your glory or whatever. And it's like, just shut up and just do what you're known for and just keep your opinions to yourself. And I know people get mad at me, but it's like, you know what? When you guys come on here and you ask me a question, I answer the question to the best of my ability. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck the
Spear
Marvels
questions.
because no one watched it. Which one? You have to be a little more specific.
So not JPez asking, can the Tremors series keep going without Michael Gross? It should not keep going at all.
Yeah, they should have
There
stopped.
were 7 movies?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, I think 7.
Yeah, yes. Okay. That was too much.
They should have stopped. I mean, you could argue that it didn't need sequels, but Tremors 2, I think, is my favorite, to be honest. And I like Tremors 3. So after that, I don't care, to be honest. I like the TV show, but the problem with the TV show is, number one, they aired all the episodes out of order, so no one understood what was going on. And number two, they tried to take it in all these different directions that it didn't need to go into. So it lost its luster. But you didn't need anything after the third movie, at least in my opinion.
Have I ever played pole position? Yep, every night at in my bed.
Jesus.
In my joystick. Love to buy the Warriors 4K for the good cut of the movie. Yeah,
yes,
cool.
definitely.
Video.
And then I think you still have to get the one that came out in Australia because the extras aren't the same. But it's okay because it's the Warriors. Someone asked Joe Bob Briggs if there was a movie from Monster Vision that he would like to show on his new show, and he said the Warriors. He said that would be if I had to choose one, he goes, I'd like to show that again. I'm like, can't argue with that.
So Alice is asking Fabio, have you seen Criminal Law with Kevin Bacon or Flatliners?
Flatliners, yes. Criminal Law, no.
And you, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Marco. Apparently, I'm a very toxic person. I want to know where. Okay, that's cool, but where can I get my discounts at?
Neo Punt is asking, what does Fabio think of Starship Troopers?
I love Starship Troopers. I absolutely love that movie. I always did. I remember when it came out, and it was like this big movie. And it was when I was a kid, it was always on TV. It was always on cable, so I would always watch it. And I'm like, well, it's the guy that did RoboCop and Total Recall, so there's that. And when I was in the Army, I will never forget, there was a guy in my unit. He watched that fucking movie every single day. When we went overseas, he watched it every day. We wanted to kill him because of that. Because he just would not stop watching the movie. I forgot to mention that to Michael Ironside. I'm sure he would have got a kick out of that, but I just kind of freaked out for a second. But I love Starship Troopers. All the sequels suck. The animated ones are really good. I really enjoyed. I think it was called Invasion. Was that first animated one? That was really good. And then the TV show Roughnecks was so good. That is such a good show. That needs a Blu-ray. I remember watching that as a kid when it was brand new. And that was a really awesome show, even all these years later. But I love Starship Troopers. And yes, Turtle Tank in Power Rangers in Space is amazing.
Let's see. Sorry about that, folks. Hey there, Jesse. Hope you're doing well. Fabio, your thoughts on, I don't know what this is, Vice Attack manga? I don't know
I think he's referring to the news people, Vice. They attacked manga in an article. They're not a real news source, so who cares? There's nothing wrong with manga. Just, if you want to read it. Go for it. You're not bothering anybody.
Fabio, have you ever met another Fabio?
No, I have not. I have met women named Fabiana. I have met guys named Fabian, but I've never met another Fabio. So.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Did you guys ever see the Eric Freeman interview where he reprised his role as Ricky on YouTube? I did not see that.
No. Well, Toxic AI again. Which Pink Ranger are you referring to? I hate to tell you, but there's more than one. You got to be a little more specific. Sorry. I can't answer the question if you don't ask it properly. Sorry.
Not JPay to me. Maximum Overdrive is not cringe. To me, it's cool.
Maximum Overdrive is fucking awesome. Why can't they make movies like that anymore? How can you get mad? How can you call a movie cringe that has AC/DC doing the soundtrack? Just saying.
But hi there, Rapper Kirby, and hey there, Rich. Hope you're doing well, man.
Well, Gary Busey, yes, he had the accident, but I don't think all the cocaine helped either.
We're doing well. Hope you're doing well, Rich.
What's up?
I see you
here. Fuck Bin Laden and fuck TikTok.
A lot of people hate it, but I don't. Emilio Estevez hates it. I know that.
I'm sure he didn't hate the paycheck. That's what I'm still laughing when Ralph Macchio, we talked about Karate Kid 3. I said, we got paid, right? And he started laughing. He goes, yeah, you should see the house that they paid for. I'm like, well, then what are you complaining about? he got a kick out of that. That was cool.
But I do hate that movie, Karate Kid 3. I do. I know people liked it, and that's cool.
I liked it.
Can't stand that movie.
I liked it a lot more as a kid, but when I reviewed it a couple years ago, I'm like, you know what? I get it now. Like, as an adult, I get it. I'm like, like, I like Thomas Ian Griffith in it, but the ending doesn't make sense because it's like, oh, so Daniel only has to fight once? Like, this? No, that's not how it works. And then he's like bitching and complaining and crying throughout the whole movie, and it's like, did you not learn anything from Mr. Miyagi? And then you just do like it's not even a karate move. It was more of like an Aikido technique to win. I'm like, fuck this movie. so now as an adult, I get it. I'm like, okay. But next Karate Kid was better.
Yeah, that one I saw not too long ago, and I didn't hate it. I definitely thought it was a step up from the third film. So
my girl, Hilary Swank.
So, Primer, you're asking, is there a special feature on the new Aliens release you're hoping to see? Well, they already announced it. It's like nothing new. It's like one or two like little features. Like
it was nothing. It was nothing special. It was like Matt said, I don't think it was anything new. I mean, what more do you need? If you just get the Blu-ray, it has the 3-hour documentary. It has all the other stuff. What more do you need for Aliens? Just like that.
Well, you StreamYard screws up from time.
Yeah, to time. I'm aware because it did it to me the other night. My user. What's up?
What is it that happened the other night on your?
So I was trying to share my screen, and it froze, and it didn't, like, the whole computer froze. It never did that. So I got on my phone, and then it came back on the computer, and then I was trying to close it on my phone, and I think I hit end stream by accident, and it shut the stream down, so I had to restart it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Sorry about that. But my username is the Italian Stallion 51.
Yep. The Italian Stallion 51, like he said.
Mm-hmm. Just I was trying to type it in the chat, but it wouldn't let me. So because it said connect your YouTube account. I'm like, we are on YouTube. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Taxi Driver or The Warriors? That's tough. That's really tough. I might have to say The Warriors on that one, to be honest.
I'll say the Warriors as well.
The Warriors is such an important movie from the 70s. I don't think people realize that.
But hey there, Retro Crypt. Hope you're doing well. Thanks once again, Bobby. Should a Fabio name get to be an action?
Yes.
An action son, Fabio? Yes.
Which is I don't understand. Why am I not an action star based on my name alone? Okay, so the reason for that is because when I created my account here on YouTube, I put in 5/19, which is my birthday, May 19th. But at the time, there was a cap on how many letters you could have, so the 9 got cut off, so it was just 51, and I said, fuck it, I don't want to change it. So that's why it's 51. I was just being lazy. I'm like, fuck it. Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, there was supposed to be another number in there, but YouTube would not let me do that way back in 2010 or whatever year it was. And then remember when YouTube was going to make everybody use their real name? I'm like, this is fucking dumb, because when they bought Google and they were trying to connect everything, I said, fuck that. I'm not changing it. Maybe. Just maybe.
I wanted to highlight this because this is a lady, and even she ain't having this shit about the Marvels.
The Marvels. The Marvels.
Since the director wants, these people want to say it's only men.
No.
There's a lady there.
No one went and watched it. No one saw it. No men, no women, no children, no cats, no dogs. Nobody watched it. Nobody cares. Jesse,
why would you?
Dolph Lundgren's Punisher is my favorite. It was always my favorite. Because it's a straight up 80s action movie. I don't give a fuck that there's no skull on the shirt. I don't care. Shut up. Stop talking about the fucking skull. Not you.
Speaking of one thing I found, because I rarely go out because there's like nothing around here. But this was in a store.
People out there.
Yeah. This was $1. I forgot this existed. I guess it was a TV show, but they put it as a movie.
Oh God!
Safe.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of this show. I guess it was a show, maybe.
It was, because it's on Tubi as a TV show.
Okay, then I guess they put it in the movies. I guess.
Yeah, I guess they cut some of the episodes together to make a movie.
So I'm like, what the hell is this? But it's $1, so I picked it up. Like, see how it is.
Yeah, Detention just popped up on. There you go. Detention just popped up on eBay on Blu-ray, but somebody bought it, so I'm pissed. It's so I never watched it, but it's something like that. Yeah.
Well, now I know, but it was $1, so it was not a waste. But well, now I know.
Yeah, Chaz, they showed the Warriors on Monster Vision a couple of times actually. I have one of the times they showed it on there. I have that episode.
Okay, sorry about that, man. Sorry about that.
When
the whole. Okay, I know the incident.
When Richard Belzer got choked out by Hogan, and he sued him.
Yeah.
And he won.
Yeah, for those who don't know, this was around time WrestleMania 1.
Mm-hmm.
So Hulk Hogan and Mr. T went on. Richard Belzer, who actor, did a lot of TV work. He hosted a show. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T were on there to pimp up WrestleMania 1. And Richard Belzer, I guess, was being kind of maybe snide in his remarks or such. Maybe wasn't taking wrestling that seriously. And then Hogan pretty much gave him kind of wrapped his arm around Richard Belzer's neck in a sleeper. And I guess Silverman said, I guess Richard Belzer asked to be in a chokehold. Like, I don't know, is that a tough thing? So then Holding dropped him and it bounced.
Yeah, because he was like saying, I think he was saying like wrestling's fake or whatever. So he put him in a chokehold, but he dropped him and he like fell and hit his head, which was not, I guess, part of it or whatever. And then he sued him and he won. So there you go. And apparently Richard Belzer's last words before he died were "fuck you." So I'm like, I can't get mad at that. I love that guy. Sean, I love The Prince of Egypt. I don't care. I love that movie. I saw that in theaters when it first came out. I do remember that. And then when I was in Catholic school, we watched it all the time, obviously. But I don't care. I love that movie. I need to get that on Laserdisc. But the prequel I never saw.
EM, do you guys like Roll Cop or Total Recall better? That's tough. Because I like both of them a lot, Roll Cop and Total Recall. It's hard to pick for me which I like better.
I would probably say Total Recall because that was Arnold at his peak.
I'll pick Total Recall because it's got 3 titties.
There you go.
And you can't be 3. More than
Prince
2.
of Darkness. I love Prince of Darkness. I think for the longest time, that was like the forgotten John Carpenter movie, but now it got its just desserts.
Alex, I would say I prefer X-Files because I just grew up. I don't mind Buffy, but I just grew up with X-Files more before the stupid revival reboot.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to watch that soon here.
You watch it soon.
Yeah, I started season 7 today. So can't wait to get to the revival of the X-Files.
You don't not just give up.
No, because I want to review it. I was trying to review it for October, but I just didn't have time. But I'm like, well, if I review it, I have to watch every episode. So
there's at least one good episode. I like the last season. There's one where it's a standalone where everything's like automated, and so there's all these like drones going after Mulder and Scully, and that was cool. But the rest of it, no. Fabio, have you seen Don't Kill It with Dolph Lundgren?
I did. I reviewed it. It was terrible. Turtle Tank, I love Doggy Kruger from Power Rangers SPD. He was awesome. One of my favorites.
Fabio, thoughts on if you've seen the trailer to The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt?
I did not see the trailer.
I think it's the guy who did Deadpool 2, I think.
Okay.
And John Wick.
Rich, we were actually talking about the Tremors TV series before you came on. I like it for what it is. I have the DVD, but I think the two problems were, number one, when they originally showed it, they aired all the episodes out of order. So they were showing episodes that were sequels to previous episodes that had not aired yet, so it didn't make any sense. Because I think, like the Christopher Lloyd episodes, they showed the second episode that he was in first, which was linked to the first episode that no one saw yet, so it didn't make any sense. And then it went too far away from what it should have been. And nobody watched it when it was on. So they canceled it immediately. because the Sci-Fi Channel... Look, the Sci-Fi Channel was always dumb, but now it's dumber than it was because they changed the name and it's not even the Sci-Fi Channel anymore. But
to me,
they did that with so many shows back then. They did it with Sliders. I think Farscape, it was the same thing. They did that with so many shows.
But to be a Tremors TV show is always a bad idea because there's only so much you could do with worms in the ground. I mean, by the third film, if you're running out of ideas, how do you make the TV show work? I just don't see how it. Thank you, Opinionated Junkie. Yeah, I've heard good things about the game. I don't have the systems for it. It takes place between 2 and 3. I'm not going to say what happens to the old man. I hate 3 is still canon. I don't even know why they have 3 canon. Peter Weller's not even in it and all that jazz. You should just say ignore and this is part 3. Just do that. But I've heard only good things. It's cool. Peter Weller and I think Nancy Allen voices. So yeah,
I didn't know that. I knew Peter Weller was in it, but interesting.
I don't know. People were telling me. I mean, double check. Maybe they told me wrong. Because like the idea of people in the show saying, "Oh, the Abyss coming out next month." It's like no, in theaters is coming out next month.
Yeah,
the 4th.
It's a one night only.
And, March. But no, Nancy Allen's not in this because they could only afford Peter Weller. It's not a big game, so yeah, that's what I thought. But
Dana Carvey's son, I don't know what happened, but I'm sorry to hear about that. That's horrible.
Okay, what was that? He passed away.
FN Lorder said something about Dana Carvey's. I assume that his son died. I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible.
That's too bad.
Yeah, Winter Flowers doing okay. Hope you're well. Static Shock, Ryan. I love Static Shock. I just hate what they did in the comics now, where they made it all woke and shit. But I love the cartoon. I love. I wish that had a Blu-ray.
Has Fabio seen Dog Day Afternoon?
Yes. Attica. Alex, I love the Jumanji cartoon. The Jumanji cartoon was awesome.
Roof is asking, Fabio, what's your favorite Bill Murray film?
Stripes. Because it's not a movie, it's a documentary.
So, okay, explain that. Since you were in the military, how is it a documentary? Like, what is it about Stripes that makes it?
I mean, I say that in a joking manner, but I mean, that's really kind of how the military is. Like, all these other movies, like, act like, you know, everybody's special forces. No. It's more like Stripes. It's more like just, it's like the island of misfit toys, and everybody has a different personality, and you just come together and you just deal with whatever you have in front of you. That's more of what the military is actually like. Not, you know, yeah, we're going to go in there, we're going to kill everybody, and we're going to play music and, you know, weed. No, it's not like that.
I appreciate Bobby, but I know you sent those on Facebook. I haven't had a chance to watch it. Really, this day, it's like I was working on stuff. Then I did a few commentaries, including the Child's Play 2019, which I still think is underrated. I still don't know why they just hate it on.
Because Don Mancini's an idiot.
Which Don Faggi?
Yeah, he's an idiot. and he's a weirdo.
Yeah. And after this, I was requested some Sopranos commentaries, which is cool because I've never seen the show. I've been enjoying it. I've watched the first 5 episodes. I have 5 more to go to do commentaries on first time watch. They were requested. I've been enjoying it.
Cool.
Enjoying it. So on a quick note, to ask you a question, since you are much more knowledgeable on Sopranos, was there of the 7 seasons, I believe?
There's 6, but season 6 is in 2 parts.
2 questions. One, was there a bad season, or were they all good?
They were all good.
Your feelings on the final episode, because I know it, the Fade to Black. Right. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll never forget this. I remember when that premiered.
Okay.
I was upstairs trying to sleep, not in this house, in the other house, and my mom started yelling and freaking out. So I run downstairs. I'm like, "What?" She goes, "It just went to black." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "The screen just went to black." I'm like, "Is it broke?" No, no. It just they were sitting there, and then the screen just went to black. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, I'm really confused of what's going on right now. And then, of course, I found out why. But I mean, I think that was the perfect ending. I mean, what was it going to be? Oh, hi, how are you? Let's eat it. No, that's stupid. I think it was the perfect ending. No one saw that coming. That's the only time that's going to happen. And then people are like, "Well, do you think he died?" It's up to you. It's really up to you. I don't think he got killed because if he did, it would have defeated the purpose of the entire show. I mean, now if it was on now, yeah, they would have killed him, and it's like, okay, well, this is stupid. So that's just how I feel. But I will never forget when that happened. On my mom freaking out about it. So, but no, there is no bad season. There's episodes, especially when you get to the later seasons, where it's like, okay, but overall, I like all the seasons. The later seasons, once you get to season 4, it starts to get darker, which is nice.
Okay.
But I don't think there's a bad season of the show. But of course, there's always bad episodes. And it's like, okay, is this shit over with? Especially when you get to those last like 2 seasons. It's like, okay, we've kind of seen all this before. Can we maybe get something a little bit different here? But yeah.
So, being a fan of the character, would you still stick with the fade to black, or would you have, like, let's say it ended like Goodfellas, where he kind of retired or kind of forced a retirement and such? Which would you have preferred?
I prefer the fade to black.
Okay.
Because to me, it's perfect. It's like, okay, I get it. So, no, I don't think he died.
Oh, yeah, okay, David Chase, yeah, he created the show, okay.
Right. Kendall, I love Cobra Kai. I know Matt hasn't seen it, but I love Cobra Kai.
Oh, I opened the floodgates. I got some Sopranos questions for you now.
Matt 11708. I have never seen The Driver.
Movie guys asking thoughts on the big mouth Billy Bass, which also appeared in an episode of The Sopranos. Speaking of The Sopranos,
I remember when those were like the hot thing. I remember when those were so popular. They were everywhere. Everybody had. Like, I had an uncle that had one, and I would always play with it when I'd go to his house. And then, because I think one of the songs was "Take Me to the River," so I would just sing that song to annoy people. But I would. It's so funny now, all these years later, to go back and see stuff like that. And remember when that stuff was brand new. It's crazy. Like the people that watch it now for the first time, especially the younger people, they have no idea. So I just laugh every time I see that. It makes me happy, and I just giggle because I think it's the funniest thing.
And Jesse asked Fabio your thoughts on Joe Pantoliano's Ralphie character in The Simpsons and The Sopranos.
Oh my God, he was fantastic. He was perfect. There's reasons why he won Emmys for that. He was absolutely perfect for that character. You love to hate him. You want to hate him, but you can't because he's just so good. He's so brilliant in that show. I mean, Joey Pants is brilliant in everything he's in, but especially that show, he was born to play that character. He was born to play that role. So, yes, absolutely. But Rich asked, when did we first cross paths here on YouTube? Well, for me, I discovered Matt, John, Mike, Aaron, all these other people when Rambo 4 came out because they did reviews and I saw these reviews that they did. I'm like, oh, there's other people out there that like these movies that I do. I thought I was the only one. So I just started watching, and then eventually I made my own channel, and then we just started communicating, and here we are.
Yeah, because back then you could actually send messages to people. You could actually.
Why they ever got rid of that is beyond me.
And like Fabio, like I would watch, like, okay, this guy is like reviewing every Steven Seagal film, Dolph Lundgren.
Unfortunately,
he's into action films, and then very early on, he did a Ninja Turtles rant on the bad physical media, and that was definitely. I'm like, yep, I definitely know what he's talking about. I definitely agree with what he's saying.
And nothing's changed.
No,
nothing has changed.
And just enjoy the guy, enjoy his personality. I enjoy his gung-ho attitude. He's very funny, and doesn't hold back. That's refreshing. So love it.
Thank you.
Friend and a fan.
And same to you. I will never forget it's not on your channel anymore, but when you did your playthrough of Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil, in the opening FMV, like the chopper flies away, and you're like, what are you doing? Go back to the chopper! Go back now! And you're like, what happened to Hopper? And I'm like, oh my god, this is so funny. But shit like that, I remember there was a video, I can't remember what it was, but you were like sitting on your bed and then you like fell and then you got back up and you're like, yeah, that's what I get for being a dumbass. And I would just watch that back and forth all the time because it was so funny.
I don't remember what that was.
I don't remember it either, but that moment just sticks out in my head of you just like yelling and you're like, yep, that's what I get for being a dumbass. And I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious. And then smashing Alien 3 and shit like that is just it's all classic. It's all classic shit. I don't care what anyone says. It's classic. Because people, you get it. Because yeah, Rich, Detention. I know Detention's one of your favorite Dolphin. I don't care. I like that movie too. I like Detention. Yeah, Austin, they showed the Warriors on Monster Vision a couple of times, actually. That was just one of those movies that TNT had at the time and said, hey, Joe Bob, you're showing the Warriors. Do it. Okay.
Premiere, why would I look for a Terrifier 3 if I thought the first film sucked and I didn't give a shit about seeing a 2.5-hour slasher film?
I don't get what it is about these movies. Because at Monster Mania last weekend, they had people from Terrifier there, and they had these huge lines. I'm like, I don't get it.
Oh, well. Alex is asking, Fabio, what's your thoughts on Alien Nation with James Caan?
Love Alien Nation. I know that James Caan didn't like the movie, but I love Alien Nation. That movie's so underrated. That needs a better Blu-ray.
Yeah, I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet, but
I think in Australia it got a Blu-ray, but there's no extras. But that needs a special edition, at least in my opinion. Movie Guy, the worst Steven Seagal movies are collectively 99% of the direct-to-video ones. My favorites, Alfred Justice has always been my favorite. And then if we're talking direct-to-video, it would probably be Into the Sun, because Steven Seagal actually gave a shit on that one, and it's most of the fight scenes, it's him. There's a couple like wide shots where it's not him, and it's his own voice. And he lost a little bit of weight for that movie, and he went to Japan, and that would probably be my favorite. But overall, Alfred Justice, every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Good choice. WCW fan forever is asking. I can't remember if you guys ever said it, but what were your thoughts on the TV show Airwolf? I really haven't seen it. I've heard of it. I've seen clips of it. I've never seen a full episode. I remember the stars. I remember the theme song, the theme music. I mean, but I didn't really watch the show much, so I can't say other than Blue Thunder was inspiration for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was inspired by Blue Thunder. I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen it either. But speaking of Blue Thunder, the Blue Thunder TV show sucks. I had it on DVD because I found it really cheap somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Dana Carvey's in this." No, and like Dick Kiss is in it, and he actually just died recently. And then I think Bubba Smith was in it too, from Police Academy. And I'm like, this show is fucking terrible. I don't even think I finished it. I watched like the first 3 episodes, and then I never finished it because it was so bad.
Yes, there's no way you could see it. That playthrough was like from years ago on my first account.
It's gone.
Years ago, yeah. Because of YouTube being assholes.
Exactly.
But it is what it is.
Jesse, I actually really like the Buffy movie.
Yeah, it's not that bad of a movie. Well, thank you, Bobby.
Bunch of good actors.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the video, even though nothing wrong with that. Cool. And then, okay, you found out from me. Cool. I'm glad that then that shitty movie, in my opinion, resulted in something good. You got to see it, and you got to see these guys, and I still think that movie sucks. But at least something good came out of it. So sometimes that's how it goes.
Jashnanjat, I think that's how it's said. I've seen SpongeBob. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan, but I've seen episodes.
Retro Crypt. I worked at a Blockbuster around the early 2000s. I remember that's when Seagal's movies were going straight to video. Yep, very much. And most of them sucked, just like Fabio said.
And I remember when those all came out, and Blockbuster ordered like 10 of them because they made money, they were popular, people were getting them. But I remember like as a kid watching them, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know about this.
Neil Punsastian, I don't know if Fabio answered this, but has he ever seen the show Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Yeah. I have one of the DVDs, I think, somewhere in here. But yeah, I remember that one. Turtle Tank Farscape is actually getting a Blu-ray this month from Shout Factory. They're doing like a 25th anniversary box set.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks. Yeah, that was a long time ago. But I think that's when I tried to do it with like maybe with footage, because that's when you could actually try to do that back in the day. Then YouTube's like, nah, fuck you. So
that's what I love. You know, I'm not going to mention names, but somebody got mad at me because I claimed that YouTube, you can't take people's footage because it's copyrighted. And they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is, because if it wasn't, I could upload whatever movie I wanted to here on YouTube and it'd be fine. So you can't just take footage for what you want. It doesn't work that way. It's not fair use.
Right. Yeah, movie guy, we've heard this story on Phil Hartman. It's very sad what happened when he passed away. Very sad.
Yeah, I agree, Rapid Kirby. Not even Batman the Animated Series is immune to bad episodes. True. Especially when you get to the later seasons, it's like, okay, stop.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although it's still a good show. But yeah,
absolutely. But like every show, eventually it runs its course. Eventually It's like, okay, how much more could we possibly do here? Like Cobra Kai, like,
yeah.
we're gonna do season 6. I'm like, but why? Season 5 kind of ended it perfectly.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do you need to do another season?
No, I tried to put my fan. I accidentally hit the light switch.
That's okay. My favorite,
yeah, go ahead.
My favorite quote from Goodfellas: "One day, some kids from the neighborhood carried my mom's groceries all the way home from the store. You know why? It was out of respect." That's my favorite. That's my favorite line in the whole movie. Yes, Peyton List is hot.
Someone was asking, why did the cast of Elf hate the show? Well, because they hated working on it because of, number one, it was tough to shoot because the whole set had to be elevated because you had to have the guy under it to puppet the whole thing. So it was hard to walk around and not trip and everything in between. Then you have to get the puppetry working, and those were long hours. I think some of them, even though it's called Elf, so they should have known, but still it's a puppet being the lead and not you, which makes sense, but some people got mad about that. And as for other stuff, I don't know. I wasn't there.
Did they not read the script? Joey Diaz is my hero. I agree, Neopunk. Matt, so many classic lines over the years. There was one, you did like a rant. This was way, way back. You did like a rant on movie theaters. Or so, yeah, and you were like complaining about like the movie theater butter popcorn or something. Oh my god, it was so fucking hilarious. I will never forget.
I remember what I said. Like
you're like, you know how like you go to the store and you get like the movie theater butter popcorn. You're like, that's bullshit because it doesn't taste like it does at the movie theater.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It don't taste like the fuck.
Oh
it says
God,
movie theater popcorn when you make it, and it still tastes stale as shit. I'm like, this ain't movie theater popcorn. It's false fucking advertising.
That's right.
You want
and you were just going on. It was so funny. So many classic lines.
Oh, thank you, Bobby. I mean, yeah, like every movie. Like again, that's everybody's prerogative. I mean, you're not going to please everybody.
That's right.
Everything.
Neopunk, I don't care about Deadpool 3. Don't care. And then
I have no hope for Disney. So
yeah. Matt 11708, Cry Wolf sucks. It was the slasher movie that was trying to be a slasher movie, but it wasn't a slasher movie. The only good thing about that movie is John Bon Jovi's in it. And then you think he's the killer, but he's not the killer because it's not real, and it's so fucking disappointing. Fuck that movie. I remember when that came out, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome, and Bon Jovi's in it. And then I saw it, I'm like, fuck this movie. What was that other one that came out? Stay Alive, that came out like a year later. Fuck that movie too. That movie sucked too.
Oh yeah, about the video game, and Frankie Muniz was in it, I believe.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I wanted to see it, because Frankie Muniz was in it. Fuck that movie. That movie sucks.
Hey, Sacred Hobo, hope you're doing well. I hated Norbit more than Holy Man, but they both suck.
Yeah, they're both. Norbit, I would say, is worse. Because Holy Man, like, it's so weird because you have a good cast, but it's just not a good movie. Rapid Kirby asked 2 or 3 hour movies before being trimmed. Well, look, not every movie needs to be that long, and sometimes you have to cut stuff out. You can't have everything in there. It doesn't work. And especially today, where every movie is 3 hours, no. John Wick 3, or 4, rather, excuse me, John Wick 4, you could have cut easily 30 minutes out of that movie. But I'm waiting for the director's cut. Like, no, fuck that. Well, thank you, Predminator. I appreciate the kind words.
Let's see.
What would be your guys' biggest disappointment in a movie where you thought it would be good from the cover art but was actually terrible? Well, that's a good old school question.
Okay.
Wow. But based on cover art alone. Well, Cry Wolf, I like that poster, but the movie sucked.
Future Kill.
Yeah, that one's not good.
Early Richard Dieter type of cover, but cheap as hell movie.
That's right. Early Seagal directed video era was still a huge draw. I remember Hollywood Video would like have half a wall of Flight of Fury. Oh yeah. Opinionated Junkie, thoughts on Vince Russo versus Jim Cornette? Well, they're both fucking crazy, just in different ways. But, I mean, Vince Russo, I'm not the biggest fan of. Cornette, when it's about wrestling, cool. When it's about all that other shit, I don't care. But, you know, threatening to kill people because they don't go along with your booking decisions, no. No. That's not how it works. But I mean, I understand Jim Cornette's frustration with Vince Russo because it was that, you know, what did they call it? Crash TV. That sucked. And we were talking about that last night. I'm like, a lot of that shit from the Attitude Era sucked then and it sucked now. You know, Mae Young giving birth to a hand.
Jerry Springer type.
Yeah, Val Venus and, you know, choppy your pee-pee. Like, all that was dumb. You know, every match ending in a disqualification was stupid. The title, the belts not meaning anything was stupid. So I understand Jim Cornette's frustration. I get it. But you can't threaten to kill people because they see things differently in wrestling. But I agree. It's like, this is dumb. I don't like this. I didn't like it as a kid, and I don't like it now.
Yeah, that does suck. I mean, it did feel like that one too. That cut, it did feel that. It took years to watch.
Everything was in slow motion.
That's why it took years to
exactly. Austin, State of Grace. I actually really like State of Grace with Sean Penn and Gary Oldman. I have the Blu-ray somewhere around here. I actually really like that movie. It's one of the few Sean Penn movies I can sit through. But Gary Oldman is the best part in that movie.
Right. Well, thank you, Rapid Kirby. I appreciate the kind words. And that's cool, Sloan. Glad you enjoyed the first 3 John Wick films. You can stop there. You don't have to see anymore.
Exactly. Opinionated Junkie, All in the Family is a classic. Can't go wrong.
Hi there, Juno 2000. Hope you're doing well.
I agree. Fuck Disney. Are you sure, Jesse? Are you sure you want the Dennis Franz impression? Because I don't want to scare anybody.
Do it.
We'll just shut the area down because John McClane has a little problem. I got lost kids, lost dogs, not now, later. I got a fucking reindeer flying in from the fucking petting zoo. You think you're hot shit out there in LA with Nakatomi and everything? You think you're going to get a free meal around here? I am the big fish, and you are in my little pond. Dennis Franz is the best part of Die Hard 2. I don't care what anyone says. Jedi-Zilla, I don't think. Well, yeah, but at least Jim Cornette admitted it. At least he admitted it. I don't think movie theaters will ever go out of business.
I mean, well, failure. I mean, nothing was really making at that time. Even ECW eventually.
No. And Jim Cornette admitted that. He said that at that time, wrestling was not successful. He goes, it wasn't just Smoky Mountain. He said it was the worst time in wrestling. So yeah, it
was the time of the Repo Man, and
Abe Knuckleball Schwartz.
Was that guy with the sword? And he's like trying to stab people through the ring, and he almost stabbed Undertaker.
The Executioner?
No, I think it was like a berserker. He had like a sword. He would always do this. His job was like just to throw people and count out them. And there's a thing where he had a sword and he tries to stab the Undertaker. It's like 92 or something, and he does it, and Undertaker gets out.
I don't remember that.
And he would always do this for some reason. He always do this for some reason. It didn't last long, but he was like the berserker or something. He had a bunch of like fuzzy shit on it.
They had who was the hockey player? What was his name?
Oh, I know who you. I don't remember his name. I know who you.
They had a hockey player. I remember that. They had like guys dressed up as the Ninja Turtles. I remember that. There you go.
Who's the hockey player? Oh, God. Hockey pads.
Yeah, Duke the Dumpster Drozy. Friar.
Who's the guy with the bison head?
Mantar. It was Mantar. Yeah. Friar Ferg. The Goon. That was his name. The hockey player. Waylon Mercy. That was. I watched like Salvatore Sincere. You know, there's so many bad wrestlers.
You remember Nails with his?
Yeah, he almost killed Vince McMahon. That's why he got fired.
Yep, Skinner with alligator. Like...
Who was Steve Kern? Steve Kern was Skinner.
God, man. I mean, and that was when I saw wrestling. So this is like my first introduction. It was either Hulk Hogan tapes or someone had the tapes. And it was all that stuff. I'm like, okay.
Bastion Booger. Max Moon, who was it was actually Conan. Max Moon was Conan before he was Conan. Men on a Mission, that was fucking terrible. Because who was it? Was it Mabel? He won the King of the Ring, and they were going to make him like the next big thing, and he couldn't wrestle, and he hurt everybody, and he almost killed Kevin Nash in the ring, and
screwed up his back. Exactly.
Yep. Ahmed Johnson couldn't wrestle, couldn't talk.
Great googly moogly.
Right. In the words of the immortal Owen Hart.
So Jesse asks, which do you like more, Bam Bam Bigelow or the Big Boss Man?
Bam Bam Bigelow. He was one of the best big men in the ring. Same with Boss Man, but I like Bam Bam more. And he was a guy that should have been a lot bigger, but certain people would not allow that. Shawn Michaels.
Sally. I'll go with Boss Man. I that's the guy, maybe just because I grew up with him more. I liked how agile he tried to be, especially like letting Hulk Hogan do the suplex off the top of the rope in that cage match and all the other stuff. And like Boss would try to do like karate kicks. Like standing karate kicks, like he do this. It's like during the Ric Flair Royal Rumble when he won, he like stops Ric Flair. He's like does this karate kick.
That's right.
I saw Phenomenon last night. Thought the girl was going to use No, it was that's Dario Argento. You don't know what's coming. It's a
That's right.
monkey.
The damn monkey got the kill at the end, which I did not expect that. I did a commentary. That was a paid request. There was a young lady that sent that in, and I never heard from her again, so I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I scared her. My top mob movies would be Goodfellas, Casino, Bronx Tale, Donnie Brasco would be in there.
And thank you, Bobby. I don't think there's any way that can happen unless they have guns and start shooting people in the face. It'd be like, what was that cartoons? Like, they look like cute animals, but then they start, like, each episode was, like, really gory. I
Happy
forget what it was.
Friends.
Like, yes. You read my mind. If they
there
made like Happy Tree Friends, then maybe I would give it a look. Like it's the population just dwindles and dwindles with each episode of the season until there could be only one, and then like Highlander actually be only one. Battle Royale. There you go.
There was only one, and then they ruined it. Then they made sequels.
Yeah. Now they're doing a remake, $100 million remake.
For no reason. No, Neopunk. Bon Jovi is not a good actor, but have you seen Cry Wolf? Because he's one of the better people in that movie. And Gary, like I remember Gary Cole's in it, and he has a British accent for some reason. The best movie Bon Jovi was in was Vampires Los Muertos. Fight Me.
I think you got mixed up. The Hulk, that wasn't the Attitude Era. That was WCW. The Attitude Era was WWF.
That was the NWO, yeah.
Yeah. And they couldn't keep up. Like, they had that and the NWO and then Goldberg, and then they didn't know where to go.
Yep.
And then
they started doing stupid shit, and then Vince Russo came in and made it worse. Because I know everyone says, well, Vince Russo killed WCW. No, WCW killed itself because first of all, you let the wrestlers do whatever the hell they wanted to do, so that doesn't help. Second of all, you paid everybody hundreds of millions of dollars to do nothing. Macho Man's brother got paid, I think, $1 million a year, I think for like 4 years, and he never wrestled for the company. And then you didn't end NWO should have ended way before it did. You didn't elevate any of your new talent. It killed itself. It wasn't one person that killed WCW. It was collective that killed it. But Ted Turner didn't care because it made him money. And he loved wrestling. And then when he didn't retire, they forced him out. When they forced him out, the first thing that they did was get rid of wrestling. That was the first thing they did because everybody else except Ted Turner hated wrestling. Why is it on our channel? Because it made them a lot of money, so you can't complain, but that was the first thing they did. Yeah, I do agree, though. Blade Runner 2049, as much as I like it, it could have been cut down a little bit. And I do agree. If you cannot tell your story in 90 minutes, you're wasting the audience's time. Completely agree.
So Roof is asking, Fabio, what's your favorite Robert De Niro film?
Ronin. Would be Ronin.
Cool. That's a good one. That's a fun. That's a really good one. That's one no one really talks about. Yep. John Frankenheimer.
Says the wise man who wrote Sector 4. Well, at least you wrote a movie and got it made. Elm Street, 4Ks for Elm Street. Who knows if that's ever going to happen. It is, and then it's not, and then it is, and then it's not, and then Warner Brothers wants too much money, and this and that, and who knows.
So, Robert Kirby asks, while Matt never saw this, did Fabio ever see December to Dismember?
I have the DVD right over there. It's one of the worst pay-per-views of all time.
What makes it one of the worst? Because I never saw it.
First of all, the fact that it was a WWE ECW pay-per-view, that should have been a red flag to begin with. I think they changed like half the card at the last minute. They changed the ending to the main event because I think CM Punk was supposed to win, and then they changed it to Bobby Lashley, and the audience booed the entire time. You can still hear it. If I put the DVD in, you can hear it. They didn't edit it out like they did with other stuff. They had people that weren't even on the show on the pay-per-view. Like the Hardy Boys were there, and they were the only ones that got cheered, apparently. That was when they were doing it was like the ECW originals versus the New Blood or whatever, and none of the ECW originals won, so the audience booed. I think Rob Van Dam got eliminated first in the main event, and the audience booed, and it was just terrible. It was a bad idea, and it got worse as the night went on. That whole when they tried to bring back ECW, that was one of the worst. In my opinion, that was one of the worst things in wrestling because nobody wanted it, nobody asked for it, and then it was nothing like the original ECW. It was fucking terrible. I went to a TV taping. I went to one of the TV tapings, and I'm sitting there in the audience. I'm like, okay, this is stupid. Like, how did it last for 4 years? I don't get that. It was on for 4 years. What's up?
That you went?
I went in 2008. 2008 is when I went. It was a SmackDown ECW TV taping. SmackDown was good, but that was terrible. ECW was terrible. It should have never have happened. They wasted all that time and all that money, for nothing. Like when they bought out ECW and WCW, a lot of people say that's what really killed the wrestling business. I agree with a lot of people because after that, you had TNA, but it never became huge. It's still not huge. Ring of Honor is Ring of Honor. I mean, AEW in the beginning it was good, and then it became a joke. But when it was just one major company and it's on TV every day, you get tired of it, and you're doing stupid shit. Again, bringing back ECW was dumb. It was a waste of time. Because after that first year, I don't think there was anybody except Tommy Dreamer from the original ECW that was left because they hired all these guys and then they fired them within a year. So what are you doing? Like, it was a joke. It was such a fucking joke. My Hollywood video had a wall full of "Today You Die." There you go.
Who in WCW should have been pushed, Fabio? So Chuck is asking. Who in WCW, let's say his heyday of after NWO during that time period?
After NWO? Well, yeah. Booker T should have been pushed sooner. I mean, he did at the end, but he should have been pushed sooner. Chris Jericho should have been pushed. Chris Benoit should have been pushed. Alex Wright was a great wrestler, but he couldn't speak English, unfortunately, for the longest time, and I think that hurt him. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio should have been pushed sooner. All those guys, all the cruiserweights, all the technical wrestlers. They didn't do anything with Bret Hart. That was a waste of what, $9 million or whatever they paid him. That was a waste because he didn't do anything. Diamond Dallas Page should have been pushed sooner because it's Diamond Dallas Page. But it was so much wasted potential. Like even if you watch like that last year, I know after the finger poke of doom, it all sucked. I mean, there's still good wrestlers there. There's still good matches, but they didn't get to shine because they were still trying to push Ric Flair, and Ric Flair should not have been in the spotlight at that point. Yeah, Steven Seagal's ponytail does all the stunts now. True.
Good evening, Brad Hammer. Hope you're doing well.
No, Predminator. I'm still going to say fuck Disney. So there you go.
So will I.
Fuck Disney.
And fuck. Didn't they, WWF, didn't one of them like lose a TV deal recently?
Not WWF. It was NWA.
Oh, okay.
Because they did a drug angle. They just got their TV deal too. They just got a TV deal. And they did a drug storyline, and they already lost it. Well, that's what you get.
What channel was it for? Like CW or something?
Yeah, it was on like the CW or something.
That's quick.
Jedi asked, yeah, thoughts on Conan saying Edge is not a draw. Well, who was world champion and who wasn't Conan? Who's in the WWE Hall of Fame and who isn't Conan? Just saying.
Who knows how to spell their name? Conan. This was a C, goddammit.
That's right.
I know, I'm just joking. What do you think of Conan as a wrestler, by the way?
He was not that good. I'm not sorry to say it. He was not that good of a wrestler. The only reason he got where he was is because he had all the connections in Mexico. So he got Rey Mysterio here. He got Eddie Guerrero. He got all these people here. That's what he's known for. He was not that good of a wrestler. He was what, K-Dog or whatever when he was doing that shit? I mean, people only remember his gimmick, but he was not good. And it's like, what, him and Disco Inferno have a podcast? Disco Inferno wasn't good either. Like, you want to talk about bad gimmicks? You did a fucking disco gimmick in the 90s. Are you kidding me? Give me a break.
He needed to be Bill Dean. That's the problem. He needed to be the evil architect, where the fuck.
That's right, Bill Dean. That's right. And then Mark Marrow with, well, let's get the audience to chant Marco Marrow, Marco. No, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. He's another one that was not good. Oh, you met Bam Bam Bigelow? That's awesome.
I'm not sure what this question means, Bobby. I appreciate it, but I'll just put it this way. There will never be an R-rated TMNT film.
Nope.
I would wish it. Now, that automatically wouldn't make it good. It would make it interesting. Of course, story, direction, action, all that in between would help as well. But, I mean, just to take these characters respectful, not gyrating your ass like Mighty and the new Mutant Mayhem Seth Rogen Fut Fest. And ready to be these four turtles, ready to be rejects on TikTok, going willy-nilly when I want to put them in the meat grinder. I'd rather put them in the Hurt Locker. I'm like, you go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep. All these four fucking walking tanks. Okay? Just treat them with respect. I mean, as much as I don't like Disney, I like the Captain America films. Just Chris Evans, whatever as a person, the character, it was respectful. Those early Captain America movies. Robert Downey Jr. in the first Iron Man. Iron Man, they treated the character respectfully. The first Iron Man. Even just do that. Just treat the characters with respect. It's not really hard to ask. You know, Batman was considered goofy, and then Batman 89, characters treated respectfully, and now people look at Batman differently. You do that with the Ninja Turtles, but no one wants to take the chance because no one has the guts. And really, anybody has the talent.
True.
So go figure. That'll just never happen, though.
Right. Yes, Jedizilla, In the Mouth of Madness is very underrated. And yes, Jesse, I think one of the biggest flubs of WCW was not using Bret Hart properly. That wrote itself because he could have came in and said, well, I didn't really lose the world title, so technically I'm still the world champion. And they could have ran with that and made a shit ton of money. And, it's so funny because Bret always says that he had creative control in WCW. Well, I don't know where it is because it wasn't there when he was there.
I'm the wrong guy to ask because I don't watch AEW.
Well,
so I don't know what's going on.
Well, he's there.
Yeah, I know he's there, but is he doing anything?
Not yet. I don't think he can yet because you know how it is with the contracts. But
do you think he could bring ratings in?
Oh, of course, because he's Edge.
So with AEW, I don't watch wrestling nowadays. I'm sorry, folks. I just don't. I've just lost a lot of interest. Have you watched bits of AEW or no?
When it first started, it did, and then I lost interest because it got stupid really quickly. Because you have Chris Jericho having matches where he's throwing guys in kiddie pools full of mimosa, and he's like riding on horses like he's in Young Guns or some shit. Yeah, I watched it in the beginning, and I was like, okay, cool. You have wrestling back on TBS, but it's not that good. And then CM Punk going there and acting like a dick, and it's like, well, why would I want to watch that?
Hey, nice to meet you as well. Cool avatar.
Movie guy, I love Bon Jovi's music. I just don't like what he has become. And Ryan, Titan AE is fucking awesome.
I'm alone in this chat. I'm alone. I like CM Punk. Because I'm as much of an asshole as he is, so maybe I see myself in the fucking mirror.
But I mean, acting like a child and assaulting people because you didn't get your way is not how you do it. But whatever. What do I know?
No, I understand.
Predminator, I've never seen Panic Room.
It's Nickelodeon. They would never do that.
No.
They're not in that business. And like people say, they see more money in family friendly. I mean, Super Mario Bros. Look how much money that made. All the sorts of animated films. They feel much more money is made for the kids and family circuit, and they would not want to take a chance. There's no reason. They don't. For them, there's no reason to in their eyes. Because it's about toys and marketing. It's not about the movies.
Exactly.
They put something out there, and it sells all the merchandise, and that's their primary source of income with those characters is the merchandise.
Exactly. What I don't get about that is, I mean, if you read the original comic books, they're violent and they're dark and they curse and they kill people. It's like, well, you say you respect the source material, but clearly you don't. I just will never understand why they can't do a version for kids and a version for the older fans. It's just, I don't get that. Why is that the one franchise that they do it for Batman, they do it for all this other stuff? Why can't you do it for, you did it for X-Men, why can't you do it for Ninja Turtles? They did it for Power Rangers. They're stupid. Well, you're welcome, Rapid Curry. But the other thing, the funniest thing about CM Punk to me is that Rob Van Dam told this story when they were in ECW together. Rob Van Dam was the champion, and he was like at the water fountain or something. And he said CM Punk like ran up to him and goes, Rob, I'm requesting a meeting in the locker room with everybody. And Rob, who was the champion, says, yeah, okay, cool. And then he just like left and didn't care. And I'm like, well, there you go. And then Kid Cash told this great story where they were roommates for a little bit, and his girlfriend would come over, and he would make his girlfriend watch his matches and everything. He's like, yeah, he's fucking stupid. And then Kid Cash got fired from WWE because he was smoking weed with Batista.
Okay. Thank you, LBT. I appreciate that.
Appreciate that, yeah. The Edge Cena rivalry would have been better if, Cena wouldn't have been a dick and let Edge win. Well, WCW Forever fan, the only reason that Vince McMahon bought WCW was to get the tape library. That's it. That's the only reason he bought it, and he got it really cheap. He got it for $2 million. That's the only reason he bought the company, was to get the tapes. That's it. Well, I mean, Dean Malenko was a great wrestler, but he couldn't talk. He didn't have a personality. He couldn't do interviews. That's kind of why he never got pushed. And apparently he was a dickhead.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, because he injured Bret Hart said he injured him in a match, and he never even asked if he was okay. I'm like, well...
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the trailer to Dolph's film Showdown at the Grand. I don't know. Didn't do. I think Terrence Howard is in it. And
no, that's not the one. That's not the one that he's doing that Isaac Florentine directed, is it?
I don't know who's directing it.
Okay, because I know he just did. He just did a movie with Isaac Florentine, and Harvey Keitel is in it, and then Johnny Young Bosch from Power Rangers is in it too.
Yeah, I don't think this is that one because there's no Harvey Keitel in the trailer. This one is like Dolph is like he's a co-star and he's like playing a movie star, and Terrence Howard's like, is this Showdown in a movie theater? And I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just, I don't know. Can't remember the last Dolph film I liked. Maybe Skin Trade.
Juno, I was never a fan of JBL. He was a fucking mid-card wrestler at best. He's a dick. Nobody liked working with him. He beat up Blue Meanie for no reason, and then Blue Meanie beat the shit out of him, which he deserved. Joey Styles punched him in catering or something. Fuck JBL. What a waste of time. And again, in the words of Paul Heyman, the only reason why he was champion for years because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays. What's the thing with all these musicians trying to be actors? Because they think that they can cross over into another medium and it'll work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just like, all these rappers being actors. Country Shape Media. I love Dragon Slayer. I just got the Blu-ray. I love that movie. And technically, it is a Disney movie.
Okay, that Dolph one is a Hellfire.
Oh, okay.
Stephen Lane and such. Okay, so that's in post-production, it says.
Okay, cool. Buff Bagwell. Oh my God, Buff Bagwell was another waste of time. I mean, yeah, the guy had $1 million look, but he couldn't really wrestle. And was he the one that they did the Viagra on a pole match or no? I can't remember.
I remember the one where his mom was on.
Yeah, that. But I think they did like Viagra on a pole match or something, and he was in that.
Of course.
And then he had one match in WWE with Booker T, and it was terrible. And then they fired him the next day, something like that.
That sounds about right. Hi there, Trevor. Yeah, I know about the Ahsoka character. I saw the first episode. I'm kind of done with Star Wars. IDN.
Aren't we all? I don't understand how people can still support it. I just like with Marvel, it's like, why? Like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, my bad. It's so many bad matches. I can't remember all of them.
Favorite movies that have a 0% Rotten Tomatoes. Adventures of Ford Fairlane, I think.
Fuck Rotten Tomatoes.
Exactly.
Favorite Liam Neeson movie is probably The First Taken.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, Rich. Isaac Florentine. Matt just said the name of the movie. Isaac Florentine's doing a new movie with Dolph and Harvey Keitel and Stephen Lang and Johnny Young Bosch from Power Rangers. So that should be cool. We'll see. Liam Neeson or Charles Bronson? For me, Charles Bronson.
Can you guys name any good musicians turn actors? Yeah. Harry Connick Jr. I thought was pretty good.
And Independence Day.
Yeah. Tupac. He was good in films like Gridlocked and others
Tupac
before he passed away.
Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. Just saying. Not Billy Ray Cyrus because Radical Jack sucks. Technically Shaq. Shaq was a musician at one point. I like Blue Chips is a good movie, but not Steel.
No.
Yes, Chris Christopherson, Dwight Yoakam. I agree. Johnny Cash was good in the episode of Renegade that he was in. He was good in that. Ozzy was good in Trick or Treat. His cameo in Trick or Treat. Which hopefully that Blu-ray comes out soon. Marvel shields are damage controlling for the Marvel's failure. I mean, I don't know about all that. Fuck the Marvel. And I told you guys, I said they've already considered it a flop way before it even came out. First of all, it got delayed like 10 times. And then they were saying, well, it's going to be a flop where it's not going to make any money. And no shit. Just like Indy 5, people were bitch. Oh my God, it's not going to make $1 billion. Why should it make $1 billion? Did you watch the same movie that I did? Because, that movie sucked. I never thought I'd live in a world where I say that an Indiana Jones movie sucked, but it does. Ice-T, Ice Cube, both good actors as well as musicians. What's up?
There?
What's up?
There?
Roger Daltrey, he was good. He was good on Highlander and Sliders, the one episode he was on of Sliders.
Marvel can lit these balls I'm looking at right now. That's what they can do. And lit my balls. How about that? Fuck Marvel.
Alice Cooper. Marvel. Alice Cooper was good in Wayne's World. Wesley Snipes or Jamie Foxx, better actor? For me, I probably would go with Wesley Snipes, but Jamie Foxx is a great actor.
Yeah, I enjoy both of those.
Ice Cube was only good in Friday. I disagree. Boys in the Hood, he was great in that movie. Anaconda's fun. All About the Benjamins is fun.
Yeah, I like all those as well.
Three Kings, that's another good one. Someone mentioned that.
Yep.
Mark Wahlberg or Jared Leto? I gotta go with Mark Wahlberg. I cannot get into Jared Leto. I don't get it. I don't get it. The only movie that I really liked him in was Urban Legend.
I'll go with Jared Leto because Mark Wahlberg just annoys the piss out of me.
I mean, I do agree, but I just don't get Jared Leto. I don't get it. Mark Wahlberg, at least I can watch like The Big Hit and Four Brothers and Shooter and movies like that.
Yeah.
Rick Ocasek, yeah, Rick Ocasek was in Hairspray from the Cars. The original Hairspray. And yeah, Ice Cube was great in the Jump Street movies. He's the best part of those movies. I don't care what anybody says. He's definitely the best part in those movies.
Hey there,
especially the second one when he goes to breakfast with Jonah Hill and he doesn't know that he's dating his daughter. Like that whole scene, just he steals the entire movie with that scene.
So fuck with Korean Jesus.
That's right.
Korean, guys, Korean problems.
That's right. Timothy Chalamet, I don't get it. I don't get it.
The guy from Dune?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy sucks.
I don't get it.
He sucks.
And he's the new Willy Wonka.
Oh God, I forgot.
Yeah, I don't get it. Maybe I'm too, like I always say, maybe I'm just too old. Maybe I'm too old to get it.
No, maybe because it sucks.
Well, yeah, but I just like Zendaya. Oh my God, she's so great. Are you watching the same shit that I am? Because I don't think so. And she's so beautiful. Are you sure? Because I don't think so.
Nah, Premier, I didn't see the John Carpenter video. I mean, I love John Carpenter, but I don't know.
But he always said that.
Like a grumpy. Yeah.
He always said that he never liked any of the sequels to Halloween.
So that's nothing new.
And from what I was told by Alan Howarth, the only reason that he came back for the new ones was just to do the music, because that's really what he likes to do, is just music. He said that was the only reason he came back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I understand. And he said when they did that, because Alan Howarth worked on that, he said it was just like old times. He goes, we were just hanging out, smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee, and making music. It was like no time had passed. So there you go.
Yeah.
Why is there a Willy Wonka prequel? For no reason. For no reason whatsoever. Because they have run out of ideas. Steven Van Zandt, yes, from The Sopranos. He was a musician. He was Bruce Springsteen's guitar player. And he became an actor. Yeah, well, Rachel Zegler keeps digging her grave a little bit deeper every day because she's an idiot.
Yeah, when you're right, you're right.
That's right. Alex, I agree. I'd rather watch Death Wish 5 over Indiana Jones 5 because at least Death Wish 5 is entertaining. At least Charles Bronson's killing guys with poison cannolis and exploding soccer balls.
Not Card Detention. I did not see The Killer. the David Fincher film. Didn't see it.
I don't understand a handful of Halloween films that are good as well, Predminator. I think it's one of those things that John Carpenter never wanted to do a sequel. He left it open ended just cause, which I agree with. I love the ending to the original Halloween. I'm not complaining, but I think he just got mad at the fact that they just kept making sequels because they all made money. They were successful, and he didn't like that. Okay, well now they got to give him a backstory, and now they got to do this, and now they got to do that, and then they remade it. And I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but number one, every time they make one, he gets a check in the mail, and I'm sure the check is nice. And number two, like Matt said, when I met him, he was fine. So I don't know what happened. Just lately he's just like a grumpy old man. But again, when I met him, there was none of that. Now I met him like 12 years ago, but still, like I don't know what the problem is because I know the Dead Pit guys, I think, met him recently or something, and he wouldn't sign.
Yeah, the Halloween anniversary. I forget if it was the 45th or
the one that just happened out in California. Okay, that was last month.
And apparently John Carver, like, he didn't want to take any pictures with anybody. He didn't want to sign autographs. And you're asking, well, why are you here then?
And he was a guest at the show.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. You're a guest at the show, and number one, they paid you to be there. They put you up in the hotel and everything, and you don't want to take pictures with people? You don't want to sign nothing? I mean, that's cool, but like you got paid to be there to meet people. I don't understand that.
I mean, maybe it was just one of those days. I mean, like recently you went to a convention, you met a guy that some people said bad things, some people said good things about, but you had a good experience. Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
You had a good experience with him.
It was fine. CJ Graham wasn't. So that's the next video.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That makes more sense then. That makes more sense. Okay.
He just showed up and left after 2 hours.
He just showed up. Okay. He just randomly showed. Okay. I understand that. I was going to say, if you're a guest, if you got paid to be at a convention and you're not taking pictures or signing, then you kind of broke your contract. I mean, that you have to sign a contract when you do these shows. Okay. All right. That makes more sense now.
Well, then hang out at a fucking McDonald's, dude. Hang out in a fucking, Domino's pizza. Like,
don't they both live in California?
hang out at the fucking Motel 6. I don't know.
That's right.
Hang out at fucking GameStop if there's any left in there. So you buy another PS5.
Fuck GameStop. Fuck GameStop. Jedi what's up?
What about GameStop?
Everything. Fuck GameStop. GameStop is nothing more than a glorified pawn shop. They bought out everybody else. You trade your games in, you get 50 cents for a game that they're going to sell for $40. Their selection sucks. Everybody that works there is a fucking stoner. They don't know nothing about video games. Because when I worked at the mall, everybody that worked in fucking GameStop, they were all stoners, and they would all go get high with each other after work. They were just all fucking blitzed out of their mind the entire time. The one dumbass, I'll never forget, he was like the assistant manager, and he got fired because they got the games in early, like they usually do. Like you'll get them in early, and then you can't open the boxes or whatever. So he opened the box to take the game out, to take it home and play it before the game came out, and then he brought it back the next day, and then like, I don't know if it was like the general manager or the regional manager, it was his boss or whatever, came in and saw that and fired him for it because you're not supposed to open the boxes because the game is not out yet. You can get in trouble if you do that. I'm like, you're fucking dumb, dude. That kid's a fucking nightmare. I saw him recently, and he didn't recognize me. Thank God. But Jedi'Zilla, they made a prequel. They made a prequel to Carlito's Way, so it wouldn't shock me if they did a prequel to Scarface.
Was that the only incident you had? Like, it was an incident with you, but is that the only incident with that guy? Like you said, he's a nightmare, or is just his behavior?
No, it's his behavior. It's just he's a fucking idiot because he worked at GameStop, and then I think he worked with my brother for a little bit. But he's just fucking stupid. And then he got with this girl, and they had a couple of kids, and then that fell off. And then every time you saw him or whatever, he had like a different job and a different apartment, and he was doing this and doing that. It just one of those people that like they think they're so much greater than they are, and it's like it's always something with. It's like just like this fucking video that I had, this documentary that I had to react. It's like it's always something with this guy. And that was the thing. Like someone, there was a really interesting part in that documentary where they got it was someone that worked for YouTube. It was a psychologist, and then it was somebody else. I couldn't remember. And like the guy that worked for YouTube explained like algorithms and all that, and like, well, what can he do? He's like, he ain't gonna do nothing. He lost more than enough. It's not gonna happen. And the psychologist was like, well, he's a narcissist, and this is his symptoms, and this is why he is. And then they asked the director, they're like, well, what do you think he should do? Like, where should he work? He's like, well, he might be able to work at GameStop. I'm like, I don't think GameStop would hire him. He's a felon. Fucking Rachel Zegler. Moron.
Where can a felon work? Think about it.
I
mean, that must be something.
I mean, he probably could work at some place like GameStop, but I mean, you're not gonna have a career. You're just gonna have a job if you're a felon.
Right.
Well, actually, no, that is not true. Because one of the people that I worked with, well, not worked with, but he was a felon. He went to prison, and he ended up becoming a therapist. So I guess you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
You don't work in Hollywood.
Well, you're not wrong about that.
I was next.
There you go.
The Boogie Woody story.
Boogie Woogie. Apparently he worked in the porn industry, so there's that.
Maybe he was a fluffer.
And that was the best part when he was telling the temp agency lady, well, yeah, I'm a felon and I worked in porn, and he's like, do you think that this is stuff that you should tell employers? Yeah, that was the best part. I giggled so much. You'll see it in the video.
Why even admit that you worked in the porn industry? Like, will they
because he thought that, you know, that would help him get a job, I guess. And he said it. He goes, well, I don't, you know, I've never had a real job. I don't have any skills, but, you know, I worked in the porn industry, and I was, like, really famous on YouTube. Okay. I think, John Morrell, I think John Carpenter only liked Halloween 3 because it was different.
There
you go. Yep. There you go, dude. That's it. Because, you know, and then they'll sell it for $30 or whatever. And get the fuck out of here. Do you think the X-Men films haven't aged well? I agree. I do agree. Same with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. You notice the rise in popular and VHS collecting. What do you guys think that is? Why do you guys think that is? Well, I mean, some like would be maybe cool to collect if it's like you have a hobby and it's something you remember from your childhood, and physical media is going away. So It's kind of like maybe in the back of your mind, you're almost thinking you're making your own video store. That you're not going to rent anything out, but it's kind of you have all these collections of videos that you can look at and admire and remember of fond days. Some do it for purely financial reason. Like they
Yeah.
think that if they get some of these VHS, they'll save it, and then when it's a rainy day, they'll sell on eBay and make a big commission, like almost like their own personal pension retirement fund. Some people do that. Um, some people are just bored. It just depends on who you look at, the individual.
Well, I think it's like vinyl now. You know, it's cool again. Well, no, it was always cool. Um, but it's getting into that territory where it's like vinyl records. But I hate it. I'm not gonna lie, I hate it because you got all these idiots that are grading VHS tapes. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And the whole thing about, oh, well, the Disney ones. I'm like, are you kidding me? You can go to any Goodwill and find any of those Disney movies for $1. They're not worth anything. First of all, they printed 5 million of them. Second of all, they're all on DVD and Blu-ray, so it's not like they're rare because it's Disney. Disney releases everything. And it's just like, whatever. Because it's, again, they made it like vinyl. Vinyl made a comeback, and now it's cool, and everyone's like hip into vinyl, and now they're doing it with VHS. Because there were so many people at these shows, at the conventions that I go to, that are selling VHS, but most of them are just the common stuff. And then if it's rare, they want all these ridiculous prices for it. I'm like, I'm not paying it. Like I think I was at Chiller last year. Yeah, and someone had, I think, Slumber Party Massacre 2. And they wanted like $85 for it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No. I'm not. No, I don't care if it was brand new. I'm not paying $85 for Slumber Party Massacre 2. No. You're out of your fucking mind. And it's like with vinyl. Like vinyl, when I first started getting into vinyl, it was just starting to come back. And everything was decently priced. I got so many records now are like $200-$300 online. It's vinyl has gotten fucking ridiculous. But when I first started getting into it, it was fine. And then a couple years after that, it exploded, and now it's like, well, this is $1,000, but why though? Like today, I was at a video game store and I was looking for a WWE game, and I didn't see it on the shelf. I'm like, okay, maybe they don't have any. And I walk up to the register and it's in the showcase, and I'm like, how much is that? Like, I think it's like 60. And I'm like, for that? And they're like, yeah, like the price really jacked up. I'm like, why? They're like, well, we don't know, but it jacked up. For PlayStation 2. I'm like, that was a $5 game forever. Now it's $60. I'm like, really? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They're like, no, we have it for 60. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I went on eBay, found one for $20. Like, no, I would not pay $60 for that. I don't care. Fuck no.
No. I know, Bobby. I haven't heard of that music.
I don't know who that is. But movie guy, yes, Halloween 2 is underrated. The original Halloween 2. The real Halloween 2.
Well, but that's the thing. You take a risk trying to have a quote. Some people, I buy 3 of these, and they don't get this maximum profit, and it doesn't happen.
Yep. It's weird. Like, I remember a couple years ago, Pat the NES Punk did a video. Somebody had asked him about Nintendo 64 games and if they were worth it or rare. And he was like, I mean, there's some that are, but not really. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. He goes, yeah, of course there's going to be games that are harder to find or whatever. He goes, but for the most part, they're not really worth it, or they're not really super expensive. I'm like, I agree.
And Joe, I appreciate it, but no, that movie's 3.5 hours long.
Really?
I don't know if I. Yes, 3 hours and 20 some minutes, 26 minutes.
Didn't he learn from The Irishman?
But
because that movie was way too long.
I don't know if I get. I mean, 3.5 hours is a lot to take in for one movie. It just, at least with me and my old ass brain, like we were talking, like movies.
I'm with you.
Not every movie is Shawshank Redemption or Heat. Those are good and they're long. Not every movie is that, or
Not
needs
every
to be
movie is
that.
Casino.
Exactly.
Yes, Jesse. Eric Roberts, absolutely one of my favorite celebrities to meet. Eric Roberts was everything that you could imagine and more. Eric Roberts was awesome. And I have not met Eric Freeman from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Have not met him yet.
And well, hi there, Axel. And we mentioned Deadpool 3. We have no interest. Disney sucks. They'll probably fuck it up anyway.
Fuck Disney. Bruce Campbell, a lot of people say bad things about him because he's very sarcastic. So they don't know that he's joking. He's just a very sarcastic person. He's not a dick. It's just how he is. And I have no problem with that. Because I am too.
It was a PlayStation 2 run.
It was, I think, Here Comes the Pain. And I went on eBay, and the cheapest copy on eBay, complete in the box, was $20. I'm like, I'm not paying double for that to get it in the store today. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. Not for that game. Like, really? I could not believe that when I heard that. Could not believe that.
I know I will not eat this stuff on camera. I don't want to die.
Right, there you go.
There you go. You can't do it. So I was asking. No, I can't eat it. I'll die here on camera.
Yes, dude. I wish I was joking. I wish I was joking. They had it for $60. I could not believe it. I said, fuck no. They're like, do you want to see it? I'm like, no, I don't want to see it. Not for $60.
Is that the worst in person? Not talking about eBay, but in person, was that the most ridiculous gaming price you saw, or is there one that?
No, there was more. Like they had Spider-Man for Dreamcast, and I was like, oh, cool. I'd love to get that. I have it on PlayStation, but they had it for $70. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? No, I'm not paying that. You're out of your goddamn mind. Like a lot of the Sega CD games are ridiculous. Sega Saturn games are ridiculous. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like Die Hard Arcade. That I think I sold a bunch of shit on eBay and just saved up the money and bought it because it was ridiculous the prices that they wanted for Die Hard Arcade. I'm like, no, you people are stupid. No.
Do you remember the price you paid?
It might have been like 80, but out of pocket, how much it cost me, I don't think it was that much because I think again I just sold a bunch of stuff on eBay and just used that money to get that game because I'm like, no.
Well, now 80 is a steal on that.
Yeah, because now if you look at it, I think it's 80 for just the disc, and I'm like, no, that I don't get either. People are charging ridiculous amounts of money for just the disc, no case, no booklet, no nothing.
Well, because they know they know that one person will eventually buy it.
Not me.
not me either, but there will be one person, and they're waiting for that one person.
You're out of your fucking mind. I'm a man of principle.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know what it is about all the Sega Saturn stuff is expensive. Hell, like WWF In Your House is expensive now. That's like a $70 game. I'm like, why? No one likes that game but me. I don't remember much of Funko Land as a kid, but EB Games was awesome back in the day.
Yeah, the inflation didn't help you.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep. It was. And I also think that people weren't ready to move on from Genesis because Genesis was still selling very well at the time. Sega got it too big for their britches. GameStop used to sell movies, but they don't anymore. Because I would go in there to get DVDs a lot of the times, and then they just stopped selling them.
Yeah, 200 and up. Yeah, that sounds about ridiculous. Yep, I'm not surprised.
Like Resident Evil 2 and 3 on Dreamcast are like $250 each. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. No. And today I could not believe that they had $70 on Spider-Man. I'm like, oh my god. For Spider-Man? What?
I ain't buying it.
No, fuck that. Who cares? I need a phone that calls and texts. That's it.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, in all truthfulness, a phone. I mean, you'd have a little bit to watch a video or two here and there, sure, but it doesn't have to be as much as the computer and war games. Mm-hmm. Take control of the world from my phone. Just saying. There were fighting games of Godzilla. I mean,
yeah.
Even like you say, like Mortal Kombat for PS4 and PS5, you just play them on Super Nintendo, or there were back in the day there were fighting games for Godzilla back in the day. So
yeah,
just play.
There
those.
was
Don't worry about
Super Godzilla for Super Nintendo. There was a Game Boy one that was a fighting game. Godzilla King of the Monsters, or Godzilla Destroy something. Destroy All Monsters or something. I don't know. I can't remember the name, but same Predator, physical video games, just like movies. If you can touch it, you can own it.
I don't have a favorite Insane Clown Posse song because I don't like Insane Clown Posse or any of their songs. So I don't have a favorite. Has Fabio seen Red Letter Media?
Yeah, I know who they are. Movie guy, I love Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal's a great movie.
Fabio, have you ever seen people or played Rambo the video game?
For like
PS3 and stuff.
Oh no, I didn't. I saw that it was fucking terrible though. Someone paid $1 million for a graded Mario 64. Why?
Bragging rights, I guess.
I guess the graded VHS is the biggest fucking scam ever. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of. What?
Do they get commission when that stuff gets sold? Or
yeah, because you have to. Yeah, you do. If it's graded, yeah, you get a commission on it.
So you think at times they get a little bit more money?
Yeah, of course they do. It's a scam. It's all a scam. It's all like people ask me, like, do you open everything? I'm like, yeah, the point that I bought it was to watch it, not to have it sit on the fucking shelf and I never look at it. Why do you think I spent the money to get it? Not, oh, look what I have. No, I want to watch it because I like the movie.
Exactly.
You open your Blu-rays? No, I leave them in the package and then I just let them sit on the shelf so they look pretty. For the clout or whatever, Fuck off. Hellboy or Hellboy 2. I like both, but I like the first one more.
You saw Stream Sits at a movie store for 50 cents? Ain't worth 50 cents.
That's 50 cents too much. John Woo's Last Hurrah for Chivalry. I don't think I've seen that one because Jackie Chan's in that. That was the other movie he did with Jackie Chan. The one, Hand of Death, I think it's called. I reviewed that one, which was okay. It was decent. But Last Hurrah for Chivalry, I think, was the other one that he did with Jackie Chan.
Okay. Has Fabio ever seen the Keanu Reeves film Knock Knock?
Fuck no. I don't need to see it. I heard John and Matt rant on it.
Have any of you seen Mae West movies since Stallone once talked about her in an AFI special? No. Was she? No. Nah. I've got to confuse someone else. No.
Blu-ray or DVDs.
Yeah, go ahead.
Blu-ray or DVDs that are too damn expensive. There's too many to list. You know, like the Halloween. I have it's. You could. It's right there. Never mind. You could see it. That's like on eBay, like $400 now. I would not pay $400 to get that now. I got that super cheap when it first came out because I had a hookup, but no, it's like the Scarlet box. I was not paying the ridiculous prices for the Hellraiser Scarlet box. I got one decently priced. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. You people are out of your fucking minds. Just like when I go to these conventions and I see the prices, I'm like, do you want to take it home with you or do you want to sell it? I'm like, are you kidding me?
Fabio actually has some of those.
I think it's great. I love it. I think it's cool. I like having the first 3 John Wick movies on VHS. I love that.
A couple of them.
Mm-hmm. I have those. I have Freaky. What else? I have Friday the 13th, the remake. I have that on a VHS. I can't remember what else. I think that's it. I think I have Scream 5, but I didn't buy it for Scream 5. They made the box like the Stab movie. So I bought it just for that, but it actually has Scream 5 on the tape. Because I put the tape in. I'm like, I wonder what's on this tape because they never told me what was on it. So I put it in and it started playing Scream 5. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, but it's like a custom one. I thought it was cool, so I got it.
Okay.
I agree. Sega killed themselves. They killed themselves. That's why they stopped making hardware, because they got too big for their britches. The problem with Dreamcast was there was no DVD player. That was their biggest mistake. If they would have put a DVD player in, it would have sold better, and it probably would have beat out PS2 for a little bit. WCW Backstage Assault is expensive. Why? It's a shitty game. I have it. I have it somewhere. I paid like $1 for it. Just for the disc. It's a terrible fucking game. Why is it? I gotta look this up now. I have to look this up.
While he's doing that, let me go through some of these.
For PlayStation?
Probably tried it. Yeah.
Well, the cheapest copy on eBay, complete. Let's look for complete in the box here. $12. Okay, I was gonna say. Okay. 13 bucks. Okay, you got me nervous there for a second. I was gonna say. All right, it's not expensive. It's cheap. Okay, I got nervous for a second.
It's so bad, even that game doesn't get expensive.
Right. That game sucks. I have the Cowabunga collection for PlayStation 4. I just haven't played it yet.
I have played it. I was able to beat the first and third game.
Woohoo!
Never thought I could do that. So that's tough. Anyone that beats the third game, then that means they're pretty good.
There you go.
Challenge anyone to do that. Challenge Fabio to do that.
There you go. The only Eli Roth movie I like is the Death Wish remake. Oh, he meant $50. He meant Scream 6 was $50.
Why?
At the same time, I don't know. Yeah, Highlander 2, that Blu-ray is expensive because it's out of print, which I got mine for a decent price. I have not seen Renfield yet.
Blockbuster might try to go do a streaming service, but there's too many streaming services as is. It's already overcrowded.
They had their opportunity. They should have done it. They had opportunities to buy Netflix. That's what they should have did. And they probably would still be in business. Well, Jedi No, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
No, don't know what that is. Sorry, Joe.
The old games are expensive because, people overinflate the prices because, again, like Matt said, somebody will pay it.
Because there's some people like me that, you could maybe emulate your Super Nintendo game. But some of them, they're a bit more pain in the ass, like PlayStation and stuff. And so people like, you know what? I want to play it physically. I want to play it how it was intended. And
exactly. And it's the demand. It's the demand for it because people, they buy the old systems and then they want it, and it's this much. Well, no, it's that much, but it's just like with everything else. It's just the prices are getting ridiculous. The prices for vinyl is getting out of hand. The prices for Blu-ray, because you got Vinegar Syndrome charging $50 for a fucking porn film that nobody's ever heard of. Comic books, it's because it's, I don't know. It's a seller's market because everybody's fucking broke right now because the economy's in shit. So people are just trying to sell everything off to make extra money.
No, I have not played that game yet. I do have it.
Oh,
the
God.
reason I got is it looked hilarious. Just Mickey Rourke's performance. Fucking cocksucker, the mother. This is fucking talking like just curse him more than Andrew Dice Clay or Rob Zombie combined. I'm like, I gotta play this game sometime.
Terrible.
Just check it out.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure. It seems pretty funny. Yeah, he does.
Well, not anymore. But he did.
Yeah, James plays a little bit, but yeah, Mike Matei did play the games for the most part and record the footage for a lot of those videos. And but now he's doing his own thing. Happier for it.
I don't know if you saw, but Tony from Hack the Movies was at Monster Mania.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah. He was cool. He was nice. So, can't complain.
That's good.
We took a picture. I'm like, all right, cool. All these YouTube game collector channels are jacking up the prices. Well, I don't know if it's just that, but I'm sure some of that maybe has to do with it. But it's just, again, I look at these, I always look at the prices of the games that they have behind the counter and in the showcases. And I just look and I'm like, why? You're not going to sell it because the one video game store here in town, it's a mom and pop store. Half of those games have been sitting in there for over a year. I'm like, ain't nobody going to pay that price for it. Just like there's a flea market that I've gone to where they have a video store, and I was in there. I grabbed it. There was a Power Rangers VHS I was looking for. I'm like, oh, cool. Been looking for this one. And I'm like walking around the store. And then I'm just like, wait a minute. How much is this? And I flipped it and it was like $35. And I went and put it right back on the shelf. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. Went on eBay, got it way cheaper. I'm like, nope. Nope. Mm-mm. I'm like,
but pretty much we'll be wrapping it up because my phone has like 16%.
oh no.
So, about 4 more minutes, about 3-4 minutes.
Sure.
Right at 10 o'clock. Good 3 hours. So good. Thanks once again, Fabio, for taking your time and stopping by. A lot of fun chatting with you again. I know you've been really busy with stuff. So.
That's okay. We'll have to do this more often. Yeah, there you go. Poltergeist 2 is so expensive when I went to a convention. Yeah. Yeah, Mike, I completely agree. No one's going to buy Hardcastle and McCormick for $200. Well, that's the other thing. Speaking of Poltergeist 2, I was at Monster Mania last month in the show in Maryland. And there was a guy, he had it was like a locked showcase. And he had like Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 in there. And he wanted like $75 for them each. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. And then it was a CD. It was a Nightmare on Elm Street like soundtrack collection. And I think he had it for like $45. I went online. It was like $10 online. I'm like, no, you're out of your fucking mind, guy. Like, no, I'm not doing this.
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that.
Appreciate the kind
words, man. Thank you.
Like Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2, I was just looking online to get those decently priced. And I did. I found them. The guy had both of them with the slip covers, and I think it was like $50 for both. I'm like, okay, I could do that. But some of these prices, oh, it's $100. I'm like, for Silent Night, Deadly Night, really? It's fucking ridiculous.
I guess I'll mention this before I head out. Apparently this Sunday, I guess at 9 p.m. Central, the guys at Dead Pit invited me. I guess they got a request to do a commentary on Adam West's Batman movie. So I will be on there, supposedly. I'm just going to be laughing as what the hell they think of Adam West Batman, because they don't really talk about that kind of stuff. So definitely a random request they got. But.
I don't care. I love it. I love the Adam West Batman. It's fun.
So.
Because it's so much fun, Jan.
Exactly.
Yes. Amen.
But before we head out, do you have anything coming up with your channel? Things are coming in the pipeline stuff?
The only thing coming up, as I got a paid request, it's a very interesting paid request. They wanted me to do my top 5 best and worst guests that I've met at conventions. So that should be fun. It's going to be more difficult to do the 5 worst. But, I'm sure I'll make it happen. That's the only thing that's coming up. That'll be up probably tomorrow, and then I'll try to get some stuff in when I can. But we'll see what happens.
And Joe, I've reviewed Beau is Afraid. I thought it sucked ass.
So did I.
Check out the review.
It was god awful.
If you like random penis monsters for no reason, for symbolism. I don't know how long that film was, but it felt like 3 hours long, and fucking terrible. My opinion, terrible.
Fucking awful.
But thanks once again, Fabio, for joining me. Thank you, everyone out there.
Thank you for having me.
You guys have a good weekend. Take care, and we will see you guys in the next video. Ciao.
Later.